We're going to talk about how a man can optimize activity in the bedroom.
The woman is like an oven. You need to know the right temperature for it to cook. Slow down. Don't race, man. Take it easy. Words and kisses. I'm sure that guys don't want to be called anything really too much in the bedroom. But women, they want to be called certain things that they would not like to be called outside of the bedroom. Intimacy for a woman starts in her head.
It was a case, actually a very good brother, but he was so anxious he couldn't get it out.
So it's called performance anxiety. And what it does, it's like a blade that severes your spinal cord, and the brain doesn't communicate with your private part.
What advice do you give for brothers that want to do polygamy? He said, don't make a decision while you're horny. Polygamy is going to rock the boat, brother. It is another level of responsibility.
You have to be a great manager, but it does lead you to improve yourself.
Is it wise for a man as a second wife to take a virgin, or should he look for a woman who is divorced?
Okay.
Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Righteous and Rich. This may be the most interesting one that we've had up until now. We've got none other than Ustad Gabriel Romani right here. Sheikh, assalamu alaikum. Barakallah feek. Becoming a regular here on this show, Sheikh. And we like that. I was just telling the brothers on the previous Child Mabai episode that we did, finding a team of brothers that you can have these type of conversations with who actually don't care for the blame of the blamer and are happy to speak the truth is very hard to find. And it took me years to find people that I felt like I can align with in terms of these are our values and these are our beliefs. This is our mission. And we actually do not care. We're going to say the truth as it is. And wallahi, Sheikh, you're the last piece of the puzzle. And no, for us, genuinely, I say that with truth. And barakallah feek, thank you for taking out your time here. So look, today we're going to discuss all things pertaining to attraction, what a man needs to do in order for him to increase his attraction so he can get the type of woman that he's looking for. We're going to talk about dynamics in the bedroom, not in a vulgar way, but in a very direct way, how a man can optimize his activity in the bedroom, because this is a massive part of the success and fulfillment inside a relationship. And we're also going to talk about polygamy. This is a topic that people have been talking about since the beginning of time. Well, not time, but since they realized that they have hormones. And there's so much about it, how to do it, who should do it, why should we do it, the different types of polygamy, blah, 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 blah. And I think, Sheikh, you being a counselor, a student of psychology, active educator in the Muslim community with regards to relationships, I couldn't think of anyone better to have this discussion within yourself. So my first question is, what do women actually want in a man? Not what they say, but what do they respond to in terms of, this guy, I need him?
Okay. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu rasulillah, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's a deep question. It's as deep as the ocean. And women are as deep as the ocean.
They are, subhanAllah.
I believe one of the fundamental mistake that men do is that they try to understand women from a man's perspective.
Okay.
For example, a lot of the brothers, they think they can understand their wife or deal with their wife, or women in general, as they deal with the brothers. Hence, they say things like, I don't get, why can't she just understand this? Why does it not make sense to her? Why can she not stop crying? Why can she not stop screaming? Why can she not stop posting pictures about herself? Why can she not stop putting makeup on? Okay. And it goes to a fundamental principle, which is that men and women have been put on this earth to interact with each other. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created the man first, Adam, and then he has given him Eve. And there's really, when you look at, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could have just created Adam and let him do his job, right? But no, there has to be a form of support. At the same time, it's a challenge. Without women, men wouldn't be as motivated to do what they do. And a lot of people might not understand that. They think, oh, but aren't we supposed to do things just for the sake of Allah? Yes, indeed. That is the higher objective. But in reality, man has been created with this core fitrah. And that fitrah resonates with him on a daily basis more than this higher objective. Now,
For example?
So a man is going to be basically reacting to his shahawat and desires.
Okay, yeah.
Which Allah has created in him.
Yeah. زُيِّنَ لِلنَّاسِ حُبُّ
حب الشهوات
الشهوات
من
من النساء.
First thing, أول شيء يعني. صح.
Allah Azza wa Jalla has beautified inside of a
100%.
man the love and the want for women.
For women, 100%. Okay. What needs to be understood is that that's how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created men. That is his baseline of operation.
So men want women.
Men want women.
Jameel.
Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given men a fine-tuning of that, a control that comes through the wahi, knowledge, and the application, of course, of Islam.
Okay.
That with Allah is the higher thing, as Allah says at the end of the ayah.
Yeah, the greater reward is Allah.
The great always with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Now this is acceptable. Yani, there is desire.
No.
The Prophet ﷺ had desire. Sahaba had desire. How do you fine-tune it?
Yeah.
To go up on the gradient, on the higher objective, is the perfection of your deen and of your Islam, which is a constant struggle for a man.
So when you say fine-tune, as in you can only do it in marriage, or you have to fill out rights.
Exactly.
You can marry 4, but not more than 4.
Exactly.
You can't do justice, only 1. This is the fine-tuning.
Yes, the fine-tuning, the limits, and so on, right? And that allows a man to operate within the boundaries. Within those boundaries, there is a gradient.
Yeah.
So some people operate at baseline.
Yeah.
In general, a lot of people are in the modus operandum of Islam.
Yeah.
Some other people, mashallah, that Allah has blessed, go into Iman. And some go, very few, into Ihsan.
So in essence, you just break that down for people.
Right.
What it would look like at those levels. Tell me if you can relate. So you go to pray Salah while you're at work, but you're rushing because your boss has put a timer on your worship. People are saying things about Islam. Maybe they're even talking in pro-Zionist terms, but you have to keep quiet to protect your job. If that sounds like something that you relate to, then don't worry. I'm not saying you're a bad person. It's just that you're in a bad system. Many of us find ourselves stuck in the rat race. We want to escape so we can be free, but at the same time, you need this work, otherwise you're going to be in a very bad place. So for that reason, I want to share with you an opportunity that I've come across from a brother who's helped so many people like yourselves break out of this rat race. The brother's name is Abu Lahya. He's got a very simple program. He helps people like yourself connect business owners to influencers, strike a deal and pocket the difference. Super simple, right? And guess what? Also super effective, Allahumma barik. But it's not easy. It requires a lot of hard work. His students have already made $3 million plus in combined income, mashallah, tabarakallah. And in the next year, they're projected to do $10 million. We've sent people from this very channel to go and join his mentorship, and their lives have completely changed. Most will make their first sale, inshallah ta'ala, within 90 days, and 96% of his students make money if they follow the roadmap that he lays out for them. These are real people. We're talking about fathers who are struggling to spend time with their children. We're talking about students who are struggling to get married. We're talking about slaves of Allah who wanted to worship Allah and didn't want to, worship a paycheck. We're talking about brothers that were one bill away from breaking. Now, the best part about this is that you don't actually have to leave your job. You can do this on the side until you make enough money, until that security is there with Allah's permission to actually make that change and become financially independent. Look, from this program, you're not going to become a millionaire, but what you are going to become, inshallah, is free. So in summary, if you're tired of rushing your salah because your boss doesn't like you taking long breaks, and you want to make good, healthy, decent, and consistent income, inshallah ta'ala, then you should definitely apply for Abu Lahya's mentorship at the link below, inshallah ta'ala. It's not easy to get into. They're super picky about who they let in. It requires hard work, but it works. It genuinely works. With that said, you can apply the link below.
Right. So Islam is like, okay, I pray, I accept that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exists, I submit, I do my best, but there's a struggle, right? You're a submitter, you're trying your best, you're bayna ma'asiyah and ta'ah, you're going to obey Allah, you're going to disobey Allah, you're struggling, right? As Ibn Qayyim says, most of the hearts are like that, There's two types, right? Most people are like that, right? And then other people take it to the level of iman where they really internalize the knowledge, the faith. Now it starts going to another level. You go more towards obedience. You understand that there's a honor and higher objective.
Certainty.
Exactly. And then there's ihsan, which is very few people, right? And what it is, better than anyone, of course, the Prophet ﷺ said, أَن تَعْبُدُ اللَّهَ كَأَنَّكَ تَرَاهُ. You worship Allah as you see Him. وَلَكِنْ لَن تَكُنْ تَرَاهُ فَإِنَّهُ يَرَاكَ. You don't see Him, but He sees you. I mean, that is something. Imagine that you'll be moving throughout the day, knowing that Allah is monitoring you. Every move. How many people can claim that? SubhanAllah. I mean, right? So, to understand that, going back to the question, men will operate mostly in this paradigm of Islam. Men want women. They've always done. In many cases, it led to establishing families, loving relationships, children, generations, so on. And in many cases, it was their demise and their kryptonite that destroyed them. We find this with generals, with kings, with so many people. Why? Because
kingdoms fell. Because
there is
not the accuracy of the story, but the story of the war between Greece and Troy.
No, right. Helen of Troy. Exactly. Right.
Shaitana.
Yes.
She left and it was a 9-year war.
That's it. Right. A lot of people don't understand, but it's very powerful in understanding these dynamics. When you understand those dynamics, which a lot of people will not be able to evaluate because we usually operate as human beings on a subconscious level, right? Our evaluations of each other and our dealings with each other will transmutate into an emotion. I desire this. Ooh, wow. Or ew, right? A lot of people operate based on emotions, right? So now men will want women. It's a little bit more direct what we want, how we evaluate women.
And is your point about the 3 levels is that a man's wanting of these women, of women, changes based on what level he's on? Like 100%. For example, if he's at the baseline, which is Islam, he wants someone to protect himself from haram
100%.
And to enjoy himself.
100%.
If it's at the level of Iman, maybe it's like, okay, cool. He wants so he can
to fulfill his objective, to get closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes.
And then ihsan is like, bro, I've done all that, but and even enjoying my wife at the greatest heights, I enjoy my relationship with Allah more.
With Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Like the Prophet said, جُعِلَت عفوا, the Prophet said, حُبِّبَ إِلَيَّ مِن دُنْيَاكُمْ الطِّيبُ وَالنِّسَاء. The thing that was made beloved to me from your dunya was women and perfume. وَجُعِلَتْ قُرَّةُ عَيْنِي فِي الصَّلَاةِ.
Salah, exactly.
The coolness of my eyes in salah.
Yes.
So then the point is that what he enjoys in salah and that relationship with Allah is sweeter than the highest, intimacy that he could have with his wife.
بالضبط.
Okay.
And also that at that level, you are willing to leave this any day for
Allah.
Yes. Which people at that level will probably not be able to do. Right? And that goes back to the question. Because of this imbalance in the power dynamics, which is that more men want more what women have than women what men have. Optionality.
I didn't get that, sorry.
So men, they want more of what women have than women of what men have.
So what do women want then?
That's the question, right? We're going to get to it. So to know what women want, we need to also understand what
men want. As in men want women. They
want women just because they're women.
Because they're women.
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Women don't want men just because they're men. And that's very clear throughout the history. And it's also on the principle of scarcity. I know a lot of people will say, like, what are these guys talking about? But I believe if people open up their hearts and their minds to understand that the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created this world is not in a sense like, oh my God, it's so complicated, right? It could be understood by a dishwasher who works in a restaurant,
Yeah.
and it can be understood by the brain surgeon.
As you're saying it, I urge the people right now to just bring to mind what they think it is. I think everyone even knows what you're going to say, right? But it's why do we fight it? Why it's because it's that basic and simple. We've lived it. We've seen it in our sisters and our mothers and our wives and the women around us. You know, but we're going to fight it.
Men want intimacy.
Yeah.
100%.
And women want?
And women want resources.
They want resources.
Yes. And I know a lot of brothers, like when I ask them, when I talk to them, they're about to get married. We do the premarital coaching.
Yeah.
And I say, look, I get what you're saying, but I said, right now, if you're honest with me, what are you looking for the most? And I will assess based on that, if they're honest with themselves, kind of a level that they're at. And they'll be like, yeah. And I'm like, no, guys, I said, look, are you really, I'm going to be honest. This is the time you need to be honest with yourself. Why? Because once the ship has sailed, it's going to be very difficult for you to turn back.
See, these are conversations that fathers should be having with their sons.
They have to, man. They have to, but they don't.
But go on.
So I say, be honest with yourself. I said, do you right now fantasize about praying tahajjud with her and fasting Monday and Thursday and reading tafsir? No, honestly. And some brothers, maybe they do, right? Or do you have other thoughts in mind, which is okay. It can happen. It's completely halal, bro, right? Now you're not going to act. And that's the whole point. You're acting upon it by coming and trying to do the right thing. You're staying within those boundaries that Allah has. And we have to stop this shaming that was not really present at the time of the Sahaba and the Prophet. Look at the way the Prophet would deal with Sahaba when they would come and ask him an issue of intimacy. Umar Khattab asking him. They're going into Medina. There's a certain slight change in the dynamics of sexual interactions in Medina. So Sahabas have questions. Some Sahabiyat had questions, right? Politeness, respect, all of that, but they never shut this issue down. And the problem is
and you can see it's very, like the point that you mentioned, I actually remember the first time I read that question that Umar radiallahu anhu asked, it even threw me off. I was like,
what?
But why am I feeling weird about it when Umar's better than me? 100%. Like he came and said, Ya Rasulullah, I approached my wife from the back.
Yes.
And the Prophet said, but did you enter the front or? Yes. And he said, no, the front, but from the back. And everyone knows what I'm getting at, right? Like, what's the ruling on that?
Yeah,
there was no issue. Also, I think the Ansari women, they were a bit what you might say, not as dynamic.
Yeah,
in the bedroom.
Yeah,
I want to make sure these are Sahabi we're talking about.
Yeah,
yeah. But the ones from the Muhajirin were a bit more. You know, they different
dynamic culture.
Yeah, different culture.
Yeah,
different positions basically.
Yeah,
it's discussed.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
So point is that. You know, even me, like I have been shamed for so many years for having these conversations, talking to people, because I've seen what the kids are doing growing up.
Yeah.
And again, you try to have the conversation in a way that's polite. Even the way that we've just spoken, I'm worried some people are like, what are they talking about? Because they don't understand. I don't want to be too direct to the point where it's vulgar, but I also don't want to be too ambiguous till they're like,
what are they talking about?
Yeah, you didn't teach me anything. You didn't actually say anything to me. Do you get me?
100%.
But inshallah, we're going to try and unwrap it, inshallah.
But that's a very important point you made because it leads to problems. However,
that's when they're going to go red pill. That's when they're going to pick up weird books and
Google,
read weird
AI, all kinds of things which will lead them towards the haram. Right? And this is the main issue that we're faced with today.
Yeah.
Young people, as well as other generations, they look at Islam as it's not really answering my question. That's because you're not actually asking the right questions and you're not seeking the right answers. But going back to the question again, it's important to build the context so people can understand.
Absolutely.
So now women, what women want, they do want resources. The problem is that a lot of them, they don't know what they want. They feel it, but because society has put certain norms, because of that, a lot of people are not able to get to the core transaction. And this is leading to the fundamental problem that causes divorces today. Because people don't know what they want. When they actually transact, and that's why nikah is aqd. It's a contract. It has a contract base. But because you're expecting a distorted version of that contract, now what happens is you're going to have sadness, disappointment, which leads you, and again, it's an emotion. Right? All this transmutates, this evaluation transmutates in an emotion that happens subconsciously. I ask couples, why are you angry with each other? I don't know. I just feel this and that. And what do you feel? Anger, frustration. They can word that out, but I'm like, but why? Because he did this. I'm like, no, that's not what it is. Let's analyze it a bit deeper. And when we get to the core of it, is because they didn't really understand what were the expectations at the table. Meaning, what did you want as a woman? As you asked the first important question to start that podcast. What do women want? Ask a woman. She's like, I want love. And I want to have a relationship where I feel. So what do you feel? I feel emotions. I feel like he's present. They start talking in abstract language. And I'm like, okay, but how do you know that you have achieved that? Because it's abstract. Well, I will feel it. So now you will feel a feeling. What does that mean? And because that evaluation paradigm has been distorted, and by the way, it's been willingly distorted by society, there is a way we can track that. We can track it back to Walt Disney. We can track it back to Renaissance. We can track it back to Romanticism and the era of Romanticism. Distortions, obviously, all these have crept into popular media, social media, movies, and so on. That evaluation paradigm has been corrupted, so couples enter into a marriage, brothers and sisters.
This is a very deep point what you just mentioned.
And now they're what? They're unhappy, akhi. And what do they want to do? They want a divorce. Now, because men are a little bit more straight as to what they want, i.e. intimacy, and by the way, please don't misunderstand, that's not the only thing men want. We're talking about here one of the main...
Nor are we saying that resources is the only thing that men want.
Exactly. And by the way, resources are not only money, there are many other things. Time is resource, your knowledge, your qualifications, your status, your adab is a resource, your character, your aura, all these things are resources.
But I would say primarily the primary resources that they want is going to be monetary.
It is primary, as I said, and there's nothing wrong with it.
That doesn't mean handbags but I mean like a nice house, security, safety. And there's nothing wrong with that.
A lot of people try to shame women by saying they're gold diggers. So Red Pill has adopted this terminology, calling it gold digging, because they're a bit upset with this reality. But women, in the end, want stability. When it gets to be...
Malikiya say it's haram for a man to marry a woman. If you can't provide for her.
SubhanAllah.
It's haram.
Wow.
Period. Like, as in, even if he's in a state of necessity. No. Because that's her right. You know, she's going to give you herself in the bedroom.
Right.
And children then after that, inshallah. At least you can do is take care of her.
Okay. So again, going back to that, most people operate from a subconscious level. Women just want stability. When it becomes conscious, planned, and malicious, then you got the gold digging effect. Okay, where now women know how to twist it and how to manipulate, and they go only for that. Okay, so guys are, again, primarily looking for intimacy. Okay, it's straightforward, and that is why men are kind of like easier to be satisfied. They're okay, they can deal with things, right? And also because women, and I know here a lot of brothers are going to be a bit upset, but you need to understand, brothers. To know what a woman wants, you need to really know a woman. And a woman is, I know here brothers are going to say, she is the prize, man. I know guys keep saying guys are the prize, men are the prize, we're the prize. You're not the prize. Women are the prize. What's the evidence for that? First of all, the evidence for that is from the deen itself, is that you are paying for it. You are the one who pays the mahr. It's not the woman paying the mahr, okay? You're not going to pay anything unless that's the value, intrinsic value. You have to understand, a woman, just for being a woman, in and of herself, she is the bottleneck of reproduction. She's the bottleneck of humanity.
Oh, wow.
From the principle of scarcity in economics and in the world, she produces one egg. It's like gold, bro. If gold will be readily available, like sperm is in men, millions a day, well, then if the value is not that expensive because there's so much available. Gold and diamonds and pearls. She's got a seal. She's got a seal. All that in her fitrah, the way Allah created her, shows that intrinsically she is the value. She produces one egg. It's very, very rare, very scarce. It is very valuable. Okay. Like gold. If everyone would have gold right now, do you think that it would be about, what is it right now per ounce? $3,000 something per ounce? Come on, man. You understand? So when we understand that, we know what we're dealing with because they are the value in and of themselves. Now, that's not the only value. And that can lead to more problems when they get an inflated sense of value. We can talk maybe later about that, which causes problems in the dynamics of the relationship. But bottom line is, women feel that. They know that. They know what guys want. And that's why we're having such a hard time with controlling their hijab and their makeup and all that, because it's like restricting what they negotiate with. You're trying to stop their power of negotiation. And that's why they don't want to cover. That's why they continue, insist on showing themselves, because they're saying, wait a second, you're going to stop me from being able to show my value?
Yeah.
All right.
One of the signs of a great investment opportunity is not just the numbers, but who is investing and why they are investing. A good friend of mine, Sam, who's a real estate developer, Allah Barik, he manages $150 million in assets under management without riba, has recently introduced me to a lot of his investors, and I've been mind blown because I've never seen people wanting to invest for this reason. We have one brother who invested $1 million, let's call him Abdullah, and the reason why he did this is because he wanted to put that money into an opportunity that's going to bring passive income so he can focus on memorizing the Quran and raising his children. Then on the other spectrum, we have 3 friends from, let's say, the Netherlands, somewhere in Europe, and they came together and pooled their money and brought together $100,000 because that's the minimum requirement for his project so that they can start building wealth without riba. Then on the other hand, we've got brothers like a very senior physician in Texas who's going to be moving into the Middle East in about 3 to 4 years, inshallah. And he's deployed $300,000. And he didn't do it because he needs the money, but because he intends to do hijrah, inshallah ta'ala. He wanted to start parking off his investment in advance. We have a brother in Australia, let's call him Farhan. He's currently liquidating all of his properties that he owns so that he can allocate those assets into Sam's projects. And finally, I'll mention we have a brother from the UK. He's a revert. He's given shahada to 20 members of his family with Allah's permission. And he's allocated $260,000 already into this project. And he's also in the process of doing hijrah. And the last one I'll mention is a brother from the US who managed $35 billion in assets under management. And he does not need the money at all. The only reason he invested is because he said the Muslim halal riba-free, like actual Sharia compliant, not just wink Sharia compliant, but actual Sharia compliant ecosystem is really weak, and I want to support projects like this. One of the reasons why I'm so amazed and I support Sam Amin's real estate development projects is because he's already made enough money to be able to just live and never have to work again. In fact, Allah Barak, his passive income every single month is 6 figures plus. But he's genuinely trying to help Muslims escape riba and make generational wealth so they can do the things that are more important. And just seeing his investors, not money-hungry people, but very successful, very well-to-do people who have the akhirah in mind. And for that reason, I wanted to share with you this last call to have an opportunity to invest in his most current project, which is Majan in Dubai. This is a crazy opportunity. We're talking, you have an opportunity to get in on this project where the land is just 1,000 dirham per square foot, and it's inshallah ta'ala going to be sold for 1,700 dirham per square foot off plan. Now, anyone who thinks that those numbers are crazy is because they are. He underwrit 70 plus deals to find an opportunity that was going to allow for these type of margins, inshallah ta'ala. So if you want to get in before the doors close, and they are literally closing because the land has been purchased, the architectural work has been done, and they're about to go and launch the off-plan selling. And once that happens, the door is shut, the door is closed. So if you want to get in, you can apply at the link below. Do your due diligence. This is one of the most open book guys I've seen. He'll give you numbers of his investors. You can speak with them. The only thing that I ask is just make sure that this is going to be a right opportunity for you. What I mean by that is that you must have $100,000 liquid, ready to deploy within the next 30 days, inshallah ta'ala. If you don't, then this would not be an opportunity that would be suitable for you, and it will be too late. So 30 days, got to have the money, at least 100K, inshallah ta'ala, and then hopefully you can be a part of a great legacy that's being built, inshallah, without riba. So apply the link below.
So now, women, what do women want? I believe a lot of women don't know what they want, but subconsciously they're going to act based on that. And that's why what you said, we need to observe women's behavior.
So I just want to echo what you're saying here, because many years ago I came across this hadith of Prophet and what the Prophet said, you know, اتقوا الدنيا واتقوا النساء أو كما قال النبي. Fear the women and fear the dunya. But then the Prophet said that the greatest fitna that I've left behind is the woman.
أضر فتنة, subhanallah.
So the question is then, if women is the greatest fitna, then why is dunya mentioned right next to it? Is the woman not from the dunya?
She is.
Ibn Hajar rahimahullah explained this. He said when the Prophet said fear the women, he's talking to the men. Or he said fear the dunya, he's talking to the women. Because men will go after the dunya for the woman. The woman goes after the man to get to the dunya. It's actually very, very, very deep when you think of it like that. Man wants woman, as you said. Woman wants dunya. This man cannot get to the woman unless he gets dunya. So all the cars that he gets and the clothes that he gets and the houses, a man will stay as a bum in his mum's basement with curry stains on his sleeve forever if you could just get a woman.
100%.
But he goes out and he hunts and he does everything that he does because he knows that the better quality woman is going to want a good quality this dunya.
Okay.
Whereas women, the man is not the goal.
It's not.
Right? Especially if she's had a good father.
100%.
Especially if she's
had a good life.
Good life. You know, like there's a brother. I met with him, very good brother, very successful brother, very, very, very good brother. Allah, but he said, my daughter said to me, Dad, I don't need to get married because I have you. And I don't know a man that's going to give me better than you. Right? We can talk about whether that's right or wrong. But my point being is that woman, that daughter is not looking for a man because her dad's given her dunya. He's given her. So for her to want a man, that man's got to give her what her dad couldn't give her. He's got to give her something greater from the dunya. Even when you think about it, subhanAllah, Allah Azza wa Jalla told the men to lower their gaze and the women, we both have to lower our gaze. So we're told to lower our gaze from each other. We were also told to lower our gaze from the dunya, what's in people's hands. It's also in the Quran. Don't look at what people have from the dunya. Exactly. So the women want more to look. Both of us have to lower our gaze from what people have in terms of dunya, but that's more of a fitna for the women. And for the men, we both have to lower our gaze from each other, but it's more of a fitna for the man to look at a woman. So this is very, 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 very important for us to just accept and not run away from. Check the conversation that I want to have with you now then is that
I want to just substantiate something. It's very important what you said, because a lot of people are like, oh, why did Ibn Hajar say that? Is it maybe his opinion? I'm going to say something a lot of men are going to hurt with. What you said right now, that men are motivated to get the dunya so they can get the woman. And a lot of people will be like, man, you guys are talking about dunya. Aren't we supposed to talk about getting to Allah and so on and so forth? I understand where people are coming from that idealistic, with all due respect, in a sense, distorted version of Islam. Maybe people are going to get upset again, but like a very Sufi, spiritual, where, you know, you're just going to be in some sort of connection with the higher existence. You know, you have a lot of these. It's very, very popular in our deen.
They say it, but even they don't act upon it.
Yes. So I need you to understand that this deen is, this is the deen of reality. And that is why some of the greatest people have converted to Islam, not because they felt some dream or some it's because they saw that Islam was the solution to every problem in this world. I repeat,
the most pragmatic religion.
It's not. It's the only truth.
It's the only.
And that's what it is.
But my point is that what makes one of the things that proves is its pragmatism.
100%. So, having said that, guys, I know it's going to hurt, but let's look at today's world. Why are men so weak?
Why are they weak?
Because now they don't need to chase that dunya. They can stay in their parents' basement with the curse stain on their sleeve watching pornography. It's changed the transaction medium.
Okay.
While men used to, for thousands of years, hunt and do things, to get to the woman, to continue. And again, guys, that continuation of the progeny is a legacy for the sake of Allah for many. It's not just the primal instinct. But because now the medium has changed and now they can get a similar, that's not the real, but it's similar enough to have duped many millions of men and enslaved them into this.
In some ways, like it matches your dopamine up
100%.
worse than the real thing.
But you don't have to put in the extra work, bro.
Yeah.
It's very cheap. So now men have given up what used to sharpen them, what used to put them on the edge, what used to drive the world.
It's very powerful.
Now they're not doing that. They're exchanging on some tissue and
Trying to impregnate his hand.
And trying to impregnate his hand, which there's hadith about that. A man will be resurrected with his hand pregnant on the day of judgment. So this is what a lot of men, sadly, are now faced with. They think, I'm studying, I'm doing. You're fooling yourself. You are fooling yourself by delaying your personal development, which is on many levels. Your deen, your hifd, your hadith, your Quran, your studies, your work, your money, your health, your fitness, your fighting. All these were things that men used to work on. Now they're like, I don't need to do that. Because I can cross all that and get to that.
Straight to this.
To this.
Like when I see a 27-year-old brother, let alone one who's older, and there's no urgency of marriage on him, I honestly am so confused. That's not me doubting him in any way, shape, or form. It's not me thinking that he's doing sins. But I'm confused. How are you normal?
Yeah.
As in, how are you a man with normal fitrah? Normal, like you're saying. And you're 27, I see no urgency on you to get married because I'm busy working, building. But I don't get it. I don't understand.
There's that option there, and that's why I'm not trying.
I'm not doubting
but
some definitely, but it's like sometimes, bro, I don't get it.
No, I get you.
Well, it's very problem. I was 23, and that was late for me.
Yeah,
I was like, whoa, 23, brother.
I get you.
That the since the age of like 18 to 23 was adab for me.
Right. Yeah.
But
so men want intimacy. Women want resources. So there's nothing wrong with any of those. People need to stop shaming. This is exactly how it works.
Yeah, 100%.
Simple.
In fact,
are there exceptions? Yes.
The Salaf would see it as a deficiency in a man if he didn't want intimacy. Yes. Even Shaykh Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, rahmahullah, I remember something my Shaykh said to me. He said, you know, Ibn Taymiyyah never got married? I said, why? I thought maybe he's just busy, jihad, seeking knowledge, da'wah, teaching. He said he didn't have desire. He said that was a deficiency in him, by the way.
Allah.
He said this is a deficiency. Like, he's a great man. Can't be great in every angle. That was the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ was the one who was great in terms of knowledge, military, this, that, women. He had 9 wives at the same time. We go to all of them the exact same. Ibn Taymiyyah was fantastic. Some of the scholars said if the Sahaba saw him, they would have been impressed.
Allah.
But Allah Azza wa Jal, and he was a man on the battlefield. You know, slice up the enemy. But in this area, Allah took it away from him because he's not perfect. He's not the Prophet ﷺ.
That's it.
So point being is that it's actually, it's not that it's bad. It's praiseworthy.
Yes, 100%.
It's rujula. It's the fact that a man can do that.
Yeah, as long as it's within those limits dictated by Islam. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has widened the limits for the man, alhamdulillah. And this is why it surprises me that men are willing to cross those limits, bro. Ajib. Allah has given you so much. Yeah. And instead of engaging and being a man about it within those limits, you tend to skip and jump over the fence, bro. Like that is ajib. And because no, why didn't you work within this allotted? This is so wide, you know. But no, men decide to skip.
So, Sheikh, what I want to help the brothers with is some practical advice now on how to, if they want to do things halal, how do they ultimately comes down to attraction, isn't it? The woman has to be attracted to the man, and of course, it's got to be done in a halal way. We know now what women are looking for. A man is looking for the woman, so that means the more beautiful she is and the more feminine she is. And of course, by the way, guys, we're assuming that the religion is already a base.
Yes,
This guy doesn't
should
want to
be.
marry a prostitute.
Should
So
be.
she's already wearing her hijab. She prays 5 times a day. That's the base. Men are not allowed to. You shouldn't. Muslim men are not allowed to marry kafir women, mushrikat, and even the Al-Kitab, they shouldn't. Women can't marry kafir men. Deen is a base, right?
No.
We're talking about above and beyond that. Because those guys who just fall for any niqabi that walks through the door are the ones who get kicked out the door by the niqabi. Unfortunately, right?
Yep.
And vice versa. The sister who falls to the guy because he's got a nice beard and whatnot is the one who maybe ends up beating her. Because there's no match there in terms of the actual, like personal desires. So we're not talking about that. That's already assumed. So a man wants a beautiful woman, a feminine woman, one that's attractive to him physically. Woman wants resources in a man. Let's talk about hypergamy, Sheikh. Because hypergamy, if many are not familiar with it, it's the concept that women always want to marry men that are better than them, that are higher in them in terms of dunyawi status. It comes back to the whole issue of resources, right? A man that's wealthier than them, a man that's got more status, a man that's got more power. A man who's got resources, even if he's not as good looking as the guy who's got less resources, has got an extreme disadvantage. He's got an extreme advantage over the guy that's good looking.
Yeah.
Because he's got money, he's got stability, he's got wealth, he's got status, he's got reputation, kada, so on and so forth. What do our 18, 19, 20-year-old brothers do about this? Because they can't compete with a man like you. They can't compete with a man like me. With all due respect, there's no competition there. What men who've lived bring to the table dwarfs what our 18, 19, 20-year-old brothers. What I found from my experience is that these 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old brothers have to settle for women that are subpar, because the women that actually have higher quality want to marry up.
100%.
They're looking for the big boys, right? The 18, 19, 20-year-old, he has to settle for the one who's got daddy issues and then ends up making his life hell. But the way that society is, I come at school at 18, 19, 20, 21, even 25, even 26, 27. Like the guy who's 35, who's built life, he dwarfs him. So what do we do here with this dynamic?
Okay, first of all,
because our brothers want the best woman. They want the best quality woman.
No, they do, yeah. And also, I want to say that we, in our, whatever age we're at right now, we want the best for these brothers.
Of course.
That's why we're doing this.
100%.
A lot of people think, because maybe at 18, 19, I wish I would have had someone who had a podcast that I can watch. They can give me that cheat code, Because what me and you and I had to go through to get to this level was tough, man.
To roll with the punches.
Right. Yeah, it was tough. And to be honest, alhamdulillah, it's good. But and it's part of the process. Yeah. And I don't want people to skip the process, but I believe that certain things can be shaved off. Things that were not necessary, that we could have avoided. We could have sped up the process.
Big time.
Yeah. When you look at previous generations, by the age of 18, they were real men. Our guys at the age of 18 are still just playing with themselves. You know what I mean? So you're talking about, you're talking about real men who, I was looking at Muhammad bin Qasim when he opened Sindh. He started at the age of 16, at the age of 16. A lot of the brothers from the subcontinent might not even know his name.
And he conquered India.
He conquered India, bro. What are you conquering at the age of 16? You don't even have your license yet, right? And society has made it like that. There's a reason. Maybe another podcast we can look at how, putting aside conspiracy theories, how the world has really castrated us. Okay, in a sense. I want to use that word. But we want the best for these brothers. I hope that the 18, 19-year-old will be better than me, will beat me, will surpass me. Why? Because this is not about you and I. This is about a dawah that is established, a mission where we're all part of the same army. Okay, and they need to understand that we are relying upon you, bro. We're passing on this knowledge so you can pick up, inshallah, where we're going to be left off and continue this struggle, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So take it, inshallah, and listen to it, hopefully, with a good heart. At the same time, I don't want people to misunderstand that we're just talking about dunya here. Resources, as I said again, is not just money.
No, absolutely not.
These are all all the resources that we have, and again, money is a resource and it's an important one. And we'll talk about money because, again, that's the most obvious one that men can show. While beauty is the most obvious reason that women can show. And that's why they have to. Covering for a woman, it equalizes the playing game a little bit. When she doesn't cover, it gives her an advantage. Because obviously she will incite in a man the desire. When she's covered, and you see the deen, it stabilizes the dynamics.
This is why men show off their money, they show off their cars, because that's the most obvious thing.
100%. So that's a resource. His akhlaq, his adab, his deen, his degree, all these.
Why women, even a girl who might want a guy with money, will settle for the idea of a student of knowledge that's broke.
Yes.
Because of status.
Because that's a resource.
Yeah, because this is the one.
That's value.
The community that's known. If I marry him, I'm married to the
But that's the thing.
We'll graduate from Medina.
So that for her is value.
100%.
Okay, so money is not the only thing that's matter. I need people to understand this.
Absolutely.
Also, keep in mind that what we're talking about here, why we're talking this way, is because, again, most people, not all, there's always exception, will fall within that line.
Absolutely.
Of how the dynamics attract. For example, I was reading yesterday the story of Habiba and Thabit, the story of Khula that we know, right? Even I was looking at some of the explanations. Some say that she found him not attractive. Compared to other people, other Sahaba, right? They were sitting, and one time she found that I just feel like he's not that. And she felt that she was not able to give him his rights, so she was fearing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? As opposed to, for example, so that in general, you can see how women are today, right? As opposed to, for example, I believe the name of the Sahaba was Julaybi, radiallahu anhu. He was not so handsome. But look at the woman that he married. That woman, her iman, she was on that level, bro. Like here, where her family was like, She said, what do you mean? Like the Prophet ﷺ recommended. Do you understand what this means? Her iman was on another level. She didn't care about attraction, status, nothing. Because, yes, again, the exception can supersede the default baseline where most people are at.
You know what was worrying for me though, Sheikh? Sometimes people force themselves. Their iman is not at that level, but they force themselves to try to be like that. And I understand the sentiment, but 2-3 years later, or 2-3 months later, they're like, well, what did I get myself into?
Wallahi, bro, last week I had a client, and she was crying, bro. And she said, Akhi, I married this guy. He is amazing. She says, Wallahi, I'm not trying to show off. She said, this guy is knowledge, practice, adab, everything. So I said to her, but? She said, but I'm not attracted to him. I look at him, I don't see him as a man. She said, I need a bit of a scruffy beard on him. Nothing, just he's too perfect. And she says, I don't know what to do. She's like, I don't know how to leave him. She's like, I'm sorry to say, but I feel like sometimes I wish he would just die so that I don't have to leave him. And I was like, oh man. Okay. I was like, subhanallah. Okay. But this reality, that's reality. Okay. You have to understand, brothers and sisters. So, hypergamy. Okay. Hypergamy is basically real. And it's the way women feel attracted to men. Female attraction, and again, a lot of brothers are like, I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. Sometimes women don't get it.
Can I just, you have the cards? Just bring them quickly. I'll just show, I have a diagram.
Okay.
So people it will make sense. But you carry on in the meantime, Shah.
So, because female attraction is so complicated, not like man attraction. For men, our attraction is based on looks, simple aesthetics. It's very easy. And that's why, again, most men are attracted to most women in general. Okay. While most women are just not attracted to most men. And again, guys don't get it. Right? A lot of guys, and look, gym is important. Yes. Gym is important. Many things are important.
Yeah.
However, that's not the most important thing for a woman. For a woman to be attracted to a man, she really has to feel something. There has to be, and it's not always sexual. Okay? It could be a number of things. It can be maybe one thing. For it to be just looks, for example, the guy has to be like, you're talking about, man, for a woman to walk on the street and for her to have the need to lower her gaze and say, astaghfirullah, this might happen to her once every 2 weeks maybe, or maybe every 2 months. For a man,
Multiple
every
times a day.
2 minutes probably,
Yep,
bro.
yep,
Like
yep,
you
yep.
go outside and you're like, astaghfirullah, stuff, right? And that's just the way it is. Okay? But hypergamy is basically, and because of women having that beauty, again, most women are, even if they're not super beautiful, they're attractive. And you're going to know.
And beauty is malleable.
It is.
And a woman just has things that men like. For example, a man just their body parts, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. And that's perceived value,
Yeah.
and that can be easily manipulated by women.
Yeah.
How? Well, if she looks decent, she puts a little bit of makeup, tightens the abaya a little bit.
She goes up
all
2,
of a
3
sudden,
notches.
and the men are like, oh man, right? And that's just the way it is, right? And because of this power imbalance, okay, most guys again are gonna want most women. But because men, it's not that simple to manipulate the perceived value. What are you gonna do? Get a fake Rolex or try to put on some fake clothes? In the end of the day, it's hard to manipulate for a man that perceived value, which is what? The availability of resources. How can you tell a man has the ability to give you resources? It's not that easy, man.
Yep.
And that's why guys are going to try to rent the car, get the watch, put the nice clothes on.
Take pictures in front of
Take
someone
the
else's
pictures in
Lamborghini.
front of, because they're trying then to manipulate that value.
Yep.
The bottom line is difficult. So because of this power imbalance, and because men want all those women, men are the ones asking, please be with me. Hey, here's my meher. I want to marry you. Who makes the ijab? Who makes the qabul?
Even for example, we have the what I used to have sunnah match. You have nikah gram, so you probably got similar experience. We saw that there was a disproportionate
100%.
amount of men
100%.
that would send requests over women.
100%.
Like women just don't send requests.
100%.
Very rarely will they. They'll come across a profile. They're like, let me.
100%.
But men are just sending requests.
However, when that one guy or two guys come that are really like, now all of a sudden, all the women
So just
are going to want to be with that
I'm going to show you
guy.
this diagram because that's what you're just saying is what this diagram is. Can we see it on the screen, Max? Yeah. This is basically what you're saying, right? So these guys at the top, he gets the requests from all these girls.
All of them.
These guys, they get nothing. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not getting any requests, that means you're not showing resources on your profile. But women, no woman wants to, if this diagram was like this, a guy would marry her. A guy would even marry down slightly. Because at the end of the day, he just wants a woman.
Now, I'm going to give the guys a little hack
Go on.
here.
Go
Because
on.
you said, let's get some pragmatic
Go on.
advice. You see the blue right there.
Yeah.
Those guys at the top
Yeah.
might not necessarily, when it comes to what's called actual value, meaning once you've actually done the nikah, your actual value will come in.
Yeah.
Perceived value is when you sit at the table, you're still negotiating.
Okay.
Actual value is like, can he actually do that?
Yeah.
Is he going to, right? Those guys might just know how to use perceived value. Now, is it deception? Is it manipulation? It can be. However, the actuality will show the truth. That's why you only truly know someone really 100% after. Now, one thing, manipulation becomes deception when it is maliciously done to obtain something and cheat someone out of their transaction.
Yeah.
That is haram.
Yeah.
However, if manipulation, again, I know the words sometimes have negative connotations, but not necessarily.
Let's say persuasion.
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 Okay. Can become positive if the guy understands that I do have value. I am a good person. I put in a lot of work, but it's not noticeable. So most women will not give me a chance to know how good of a guy I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you understand? A lot of guys get transacted out or pushed out on the side, and they're good people, bro.
Very good.
Good brothers, man.
There's a brother.
Good deen.
There's a good brother I know, actually. He said none of these. He's a 7-figure entrepreneur, Alam Barik, practicing brother, good brother, infectious personality. Like, if you're with him,
MashaAllah.
and Alam Barik, confident, like a good man,
MashaAllah.
Alam Barik, but he's short. very short. And he just lost on all these apps. He said, these apps are not for me because, bro, the women are just straight away cancelling him out.
Canceling just because they were height.
Right? He did get married, got great, very good, mashallah, tabarakallah. But now it's like you've got advantages basically that you need to bring to the table.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's only for you with the intention for them to really see who you really are, man. Because most women are not going to see you.
Yeah.
They will not observe you because of that power imbalance. Remember, the man is the one who is in a position of a disadvantage because he's the one asking.
Yeah.
Please, can you marry me, please? So when a man is in a position of disadvantage, the person who's being asked or the giver is in a position of advantage.
Yeah.
Because why? Well, because they have something to give.
Yeah, negotiation. The person who's willing to walk away from the table is always in the strongest position.
It's just the way. Okay, it's just the way. So this is very, very important. Look, that's why if you look at the concept of the word tabarruj, what does the word tabarruj come from? It comes from the word burj, which is what?
Tower.
It's a tower. Why? Because you can see it from far. A woman's value, her tabarruj, can be seen from far.
It's very profound.
While a man's value, you need to really get close and you need to spend a little bit of time, probably a lot, to actually see how good of a man he is. And because of that imbalance, most guys are going to be cut out.
So then, as a young man then, should you be then thinking about these things? It's not about the car or pictures of the car and this, that, watches, but start working towards actual value, whether that's reputation, whether that's positions of power, whether that's money, whether that's, all of those things.
100%.
Does the way a man carry himself
100%.
communicate? Because I've been wali for many sisters, as you have as well. We've had sisters who don't have, fathers and whatnot and so on and so forth. And I remember, like, there's a few sisters on these apps. People always want to marry the revert sister, right? So then I would get crazy messages once the request has been accepted in my WhatsApp, and there's no way for me to respond. I had a very clear process of eliminating any guy that just didn't present himself well in the first message. He either came across rude or he came across weak. I would never even respond to him. Till now, it's been a year. Some of them I just, excuse me, uncle, could you, I'm still interested in your daughter or whatever have you. But how does a man present himself with power, with value? He's come to the marriage meeting. He's speaking to the father. He knows he doesn't necessarily have what these other guys have on social media in terms of reputation, or these other wealthy businessmen have. But how does he present himself with value? How does he communicate with power?
Right. So some things to be considered again, to not be misunderstood. It is a double-edged sword because you got to be careful, right? This is from the dunya.
Yeah.
This could benefit you, but it can also hurt you. So be very clear of your intention.
Yeah.
As I said, if it has a malicious intention, people manipulate, they can do a lot of damage. And that's where the whole red pill comes in.
Yeah.
They've understood the dynamics of sociology and society, psychology, and they're manipulating them for what? To get as many women as possible and pay the least amount of money. Right?
Oh, just to be clear, we don't live for women.
No.
There's a very, very interesting poem. Let me see if I remember it. It makes me laugh a lot. There was a man called Jamil, and he loved women. So they tried to get him to do something big. They tried to get him to do something, more worthy in life. So they said, Ya Jamil, jahid bi ghazwatin. They said, oh, Jamil, go. There's a jihad fight, right? He says, wa ayyu jihadin ghayrahunna uridu. Because what jihad other than women do I want? Kullu qatilin inda, what does it say? كل قتيل عند كل كلام عندهن بشاشة وكل قتيل عندهن شهيد.
Allah.
He said every time you speak to a woman is joy, and any man who dies in the path of women is a shaheed. They want to die fi sabilillah, he wants to die fi sabilin nisa.
Allahu Akbar.
And so just to be clear, I don't respect a man in any way, shape or form. Not that I'm saying it's haram, but I don't respect a man. He lives and dies
for women.
Just for women.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't respect that.
That's not what it's saying.
And it's beneath us.
Yeah.
In fact, inshallah, we're going to talk about this in other discussions. I think from what makes a man is that
ability,
is the fact that he's got something greater than women.
100%.
I found that women are so drawn to men
who don't
even
put
care for
them on their first. Yeah, 100%. And this again, the whole, I guess, paradox. You know what I mean? But so, yeah, it is a double-edged sword. You got to be careful of your intention.
Yeah.
And number two, guys, you have to understand these advice are for you to understand that we're dealing. I would love to have been 500 years ago where there's no internet.
Yeah.
There's no this imbalance in power dynamics and so on. But we're living in today's world. You need to understand. You need to learn how to navigate today's world,
100%.
yet still sticking truth to the limits of Islam and the principle, the fundamentals of Islam.
And these things don't just benefit you with women; it benefits you
everything
in da'wah.
In da'wah.
If a person who's high on the hypergamy ladder is going to be able to get women, that person probably is going to be taken more seriously when he gives da'wah.
100%.
He's probably going to be taken more seriously when he gives advice and nasiha.
That's how it is, Yaki. If you have a DR in front of your name, people are going to give you credibility.
100%.
That's just the way it is.
It gives you authority.
You need to understand how to operate within these world that we're living in. At the same time, you got to be very, very careful of your intention, your heart, the corruption, and all these things that come with power.
100%.
Okay. And when you look again, that's why I keep saying, study the seerah of the Prophet. When you look at him, he's the greatest leader. He had the greatest power in this world. There's no one who can come close to the Prophet. But look how humble and how he was able to navigate this dunya. He used the resources of this dunya and he was able to give victory to Islam. And he left an impact on this world that can never be reversed. You know what I mean? And this is what we want you to do, something similar to that. But you need to know how to navigate. And we're doing this podcast and we're talking in this kind of language so you know how to, inshallah, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, use it for the sake of the deen, your wife, the woman that you're going to get, your job, your money, whatever. In the end, فَابْتَغِي فِيمَا أَتَاكَ اللَّهُ دَارُ الْآخِرَةِ.
Allahu Akbar.
Right? That's what you need to do. Whatever Allah has given you in this life, whether it's money, you need
Women,
to
children.
seek the akhirah with it. That's the only difference between you and the one who is a non-Muslim who's trying to just go for dunya and lives only for dunya.
The believers use the barakat Allah gives them, the khair, the blessings, to earn Jannah.
No.
Whereas they just do it to enjoy themselves.
No.
Sheikh, what gives a woman the ick? What are like things that just avoid, brother? That society has instilled in us as the thing to do. So what are some things that give them the ick where it's like, yeah,
okay, so one of the first things that gives the woman the ick is an effeminate man. A man who doesn't behave masculine.
Okay.
At the same time, when a man tries to be too fake in his masculinity, where he's like, right? That also puts a woman off because it's not genuine.
Yeah.
Right? A man needs to understand true masculinity. It is something that you can build, no doubt, but it's not something you can just force. Women have a sixth sense of detecting these things, right? So when a guy is like very soft and very like, I had a client recently again, and I like to bring in these stories in so people can understand that there's theory and then there's actual applicable examples, and these two connect. Again, great guy. He had the resources. He was a very, very wealthy man. He had the age. He had the height. I asked her, because I asked these questions. Had the height and everything. But she said, the way he acts, he says, he's too interested in me. He says, when he writes my name, he puts 5-6 letters at the end, like to prolong when she texts me, let's say her name is Fatima, you'll be like, Fatima. And she says, I go. She's like, I just want to scratch my face.
Oof.
She says, I feel so like, ugh. And overall, he's a great, like, mashallah, nice guy. He's tall. He's got the money. But that's why, like, female attraction is very complicated. Because you might be like, wait a second, but you guys were talking about money. I thought that because if the guy has the money, then that's it. No, bro.
Right.
He could be a guy with money, but gives the woman the ick.
Yeah.
And the woman be like, forget his money, man. Because
money, just to clarify, because again, you're right. I'm so happy you mentioned this. Money is one of those things where there's perceived value.
Perceived value.
But actual value? No,
Yeah, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Yeah. So it's a proxy, right? It shows women, okay, men can do certain things, men have the ability and so on. But again, it's not enough.
Yeah.
So that gives women the ick. I feel when a man is, see, the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put the balance in the dynamics of the relationship is that if a man is going to chase his original God-given purpose, it will make him, inshallah, because he will continue to align with that directive his whole life. Whether he needs to work for that, whether he needs to fight for that, he needs to live for that, sleep, not sleep, whatever, he's going to be on that. That's going to increase his value naturally. If a man seeks his God-given right and his God-given job in this world, his dawah, to establish the deen of Allah, he will work. It will create value naturally. When the man is going to just seek the woman might like it at the beginning. Wow. But her nature, the way Allah created her, is for her to look at him from down to up.
Not the other way around.
When that balance is reversed, which it is in today's world mostly, him looking from down up to her, at the beginning is going to sound nice because everyone likes to be desired and whatnot. But interesting enough, that imbalance is going to actually cause her the ick in the long term. It can be 2 months, it can be 6 months, maybe 1 year. But bottom line is, when the man is so into her and so, oh my God, you're this and that, she will find at some point, well, I mean, it's not something special anymore.
I'll tell you a funny story, right? So there was a sister, I was not her wali, I was her wakil. Her father was there, but he was old, so I was put in charge of like managing the process for her. And it was the most annoying situation. Every guy that wasn't interested in her, she was just obsessive over him. And any guy that was interested in her,
Don't care.
just didn't care. So there was one particular brother, right? And I could tell this was a good brother. I could tell, he was not bad looking, Allah barik, practicing, good manners, had a good job. So I just coached him on it. I said, listen, broski, just, relax. Don't be too eager. And the girls kind of like, they were talking on the WhatsApp group. I was chaperoning, and they test. And this girl, she would test.
Has to.
She would test. Say something offensive, right? Or slightly offensive. And just the way he responded and took it and started like being apologetic and wallahi. I said, what the hell is this guy doing? And then I went to her and said, bro, don't do that. She just said something rude to you. Like, by the way, I'm her wakil, yeah? So I have her best interest. But this brother was failing so badly. I was like, bro, she just said something rude. You better clap back. Do you know what I'm saying? And then he responded a bit tough, and then she kind of got in her place. And a couple of days later, she tested him again. This time the guy lost. And then, she then just started bombarding. She was like, you look like a weak man, to be honest. You seem like a weak man. I don't know if I could be with someone like you. And he's messaging me saying, you know what, I'll be honest with you. I think I can be patient with her. I said, this woman is going to tear you apart, bro.
Eat him alive.
Yeah. He said, no. I personally think, because, I can have sabr. This is the problem with these men, In his mind, he's thinking, I can have sabr and be a nice guy, things will work out. But women, they need the man to have self-respect.
100%.
I'm not saying be tough. I'm not saying if she's rude, be rude back. No, but have some self-respect.
Limits.
Have some izzat and nafs. If he was to he didn't have to respond, just ignore her. Couple days later, she would have responded, hey, sorry, I was rude.
Apologies,
I'm sorry. Try to carry the conversation on. But yeah, that's what happens, man. Guys who are into girls, they don't want them. Girls are into guys, they don't want them. So again, not to be manipulative, but to understand that a woman will be more into you if you're into her. She'll be more into you if you show her less. Play that hard to get. I actually had a video online that went viral, and obviously some sisters, many sisters and guys got very offended, but I don't really care. The point I was mentioning was that the girl should chase you. You should never chase her. And I mean this in a halal way. I don't mean this you're in a marriage meeting, you're in the WhatsApp group and the father is there. Never come across eager. Let them be the ones to make the move, right? Always play your position with power, because automatically she will not be into you, brother. That's just the way it is. She will just not be into you. So you've got to play your cards right.
No.
Then, Sheikh, so there's a lot more we could discuss on the interaction side of things. But one thing that's really important I want to discuss is sexual intimacy, right? Again, this is something that we may even have to revisit in the future in depth, end to end, but we'll discuss it as much as we can today, inshallah. This is the big, grand finale. You've been trying to get married. The girl wants you, you want her. You've done Isra, spent 50 to 100K on the wedding. You've gone through 10 to 20 marriage meetings. You fought for everything that's happened, right? Now, this is it. She's in your bed. And this is what you've been living for. And then when you get down to it, you realize
it's not working.
It's not working.
Yeah.
It's not working. Sheikh, what are some common issues here from your experience that you've had with your clients, and what are the causes, and how can we prepare our brothers to overcome this? And by the way, shockingly, I'm not just talking about virgins here. I'm talking about people who may be like reverts, who've had relationships before, and even people who are not reverts, but they made tawbah after having relationships. They thought they knew what they were doing this whole time. They had no clue. When it comes to marriage, what is good intimacy? Why is it important? And how can one optimize himself in the bed?
Right. So one of the most common problems with intimacy is, again, because the burden of performance is on the men. Women are kind of like the receivers, right? Again, they're the value. They show up, they look pretty, and that's good enough for the man, right? So the man is mostly visually stimulated. It could be enough for him to get him going. He's like a microwave. Should be anyway, like tuck, 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 ding, right? Should be. The woman is like, as my sheikh said, like an oven. You need to know the right temperature for it to cook. And most guys do not know the right temperature. It takes time, right? They kind of think, I'm just going to go in. And that is exactly what the Prophet ﷺ advised the Sahaba. He said, send messengers. Slow down. Don't race, man. Take it easy, right?
When they're coming back from battle.
Yes.
Send a messenger.
What messengers? Some said to let the women know to get ready, but also words and kisses. Words and kisses. And women, they like touch, they like foreplay, but they like words, man. A guy doesn't, whatever, man, doesn't care. With all due respect here, I know it's a bit taboo, but I'm sure that guys don't want to be called anything really too much in the bedroom. But women, they want to be called certain things that they would not like to be called in outside of the bedroom. There's that contradiction. Why? To understand again the fundamentals of female psychology, intimacy for a woman starts in her head before it starts in the other parts. She needs to feel ready. She needs to feel prepared. Her mind needs to start working. And a man can do that. He can start preparing that mind, such as, let's say you guys are already married, you've done the nikah. Now you can talk a little bit, right? So you can slip in some sentences there about what's going to happen tonight. Okay, the woman is going to now get a bit worked up and excited. Okay, it's going to be much easier for you to be able to be with her. You build it.
And you have to be subtle with it, right?
You got to be subtle. You got to be smart.
You can't just be like,
I'm going to destroy you. Okay.
I mean,
take it easy.
Maybe at some point.
At some point.
But generally speaking, they like things to be subtle.
Yeah.
Women, mysterious.
Yeah. Give her
jokey.
Things to think about. Things to, she should be like, right? And the guy also, he needs to, while we talk about intimacy sometimes as an art, right? The art of making love, right? And there's been probably a lot of writings about this. Even by Suyuti, Ibn Hazm, right? Many, again, people don't know, right? It's weird that we don't actually get to learn these things in a very hypersexualized society.
Some books, Honestly.
Yeah, it's ajib. I know why you're laughing. I know why you're laughing.
It's like, yo,
what is that? Are you kidding
are
me?
you allowed to say that shit?
Exactly. But why? See, it's not something new. These men, they understood female psychology, they understood the fitra. And men, while it is an art, men have to be careful not to overthink it too much, because this can lead to a lot of performance anxiety. One of the main problems with guys on the first night,
erectile dysfunction,
is because they're not able to perform.
As in, you mean ED?
Erectile dysfunction, which has led to many things. Pornography is one of them, one of the main ones. Because pornography, again, it affects the evaluation that the eyes have on what they see. And because you've been shown so much of that, it's not really right from the principle of scarcity, like vastity and scarcity. You've seen so much that it's not doesn't help you anymore, right?
Well, also, there was a case where a brother who wasn't like that, actually a very good brother, but he was so anxious he couldn't get it up.
So it's called performance anxiety, and what it does, it's like a blade that severes your spinal cord, and the brain doesn't communicate with your private part. So because again, the man is the performer, the woman is waiting for that performance to happen, and then he obviously flops and disappoints, and that can lead to just so many problems, because that's the standard builder, like that's the night. And that's why I tell brothers, take it easy, bro. You're not on the level of the Sahaba or the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ's sunnah was that he would consummate the night of his marriage. Right? That was the sunnah. And then the next day would be the walima. I tell the brothers to just chill out, man. Take it easy, right? You don't necessarily have to. If it happens, and it naturally happens, and in general, probably like we're going back, let's say 50 to 100 years where there was no internet and there was not a lot of these things that corrupted us, things would organically happen. I imagine a man who just can't wait, bro. He hasn't been able to see these things. He's not been exposed. He sees some skin for the first time, this beautiful being in front of him that undresses. He's not going to be thinking whether it works. It just works.
It just works.
It's just organically, the passion and the love that happens, it just kicks him, bro. It's a beautiful love-making session that will be unforgettable. It will set the standard. But
even the concept of intimacy was very simple, right? Kiss, touch, penetrate. Now there's
all these
things, and it's like, wait,
it's become so complicated. But it's the reality, so we need to navigate within these parameters. Right? So I tell people to not put a lot of stress on them. I've done a course called The Art of the First Night for both brothers and sisters, to go through some of the common sunnahs and what the Prophet would do, and also some of the common problems that people face in today's world with consummating. And I try to coach people and be like, just take it easy. You know, just see how things are, set the right mood, the right tone, choose the right place, the right hydration, the right things to eat, you know, just so you don't hurt yourself.
Even, what are your thoughts on, again, forgive me if I'm coming across a bit direct here, but this, again, just these are real life conversations that I have with brothers, and you know, there's a big issue with, if you marry a virgin woman, you know, imagine you already have this performance anxiety, you're not experienced, like how do we even get in? Sometimes it takes a very, very, very long time.
So I have clients who have not consummated for 2 years, bro. 2 years, akhi. The longest one was 9 years of not consummating marriage. Imagine that, bro. 9 years, akhi. Can you imagine that?
Did they try lubrication?
Yeah.
Because in my mind, that's like, yo, bro.
They tried.
That's a necessity on the first night.
Yeah, lubrication, I would say that's the first thing that I would recommend to people.
You can, like, as in, and it's such a basic thing, and brothers are just not doing it.
Yeah, 100%. That's also because, see, they don't understand how female arousal works.
Yeah.
So lubrication usually equals to arousal.
Yeah.
And because women are nervous,
very nervous, they just left their family. She's thinking, is this guy judging me?
Be lubricated by just naturally. Okay, so you can help her a little bit. The other thing is that I explain to brothers is, again, you need to understand that intimacy is not only penetration. You need to calm down, bro. You don't have to be Tarzan.
Yeah.
And I know, again, this is a very sensitive conversation. But I try to explain to people and teach them the art of foreplay. Because when a woman, and again, subhanAllah, women are very interesting, very fascinating, the way Allah created them. Because they are, in a sense, an object of beauty and of pleasure. And that is, again, a value for them.
Yeah.
And for the man, if he knows how to use it properly. So women can have multiple climaxes, while men, again, will have only one. It's a final explosion, a lot of sperm, while for a woman is one egg, but multiple explosions. You see how it's
very interesting.
But when a man understands that, and he understands that intimacy is not just some performance that you have to have seen somewhere, a'udhu billah, which was distorted, and that you have to penetrate, and that's it. He can use that knowledge to do certain things to his wife, where now if the woman was able to climax, and he has proven himself, that anxiety and that performance reduces. Now he can take it easy. You've already pretty much established that you know how to please her. And trust me, she will realize that.
For example, there are erogenous zones.
Yes.
Right?
100%.
Stuff that you get a guy and take him to the corner when there's no one else there and peel away the 2-3 masks that he's going to present you with and really get down to it. He has no clue what the hell erogenous zone is, where it is, and what to do with it. And
so there was a study that was done where men were told about female anatomy. And there was a made-up word and a made-up part. And most of them said, yeah, I know what that is. But that doesn't exist. So about 77% of them said that, yeah, I know what it is. But because the men, they don't want to admit that they don't know. Right? And of course, once you learn, inshallah, and it's fine. And again, as you said, we live in a world where there's so many things have been added to these dynamics. Before, literally, akhi, a man and woman would get together and things would just happen. It was so easy probably to please a woman. While right now, the average woman to actually find and reach a climax, it can take up to 11 minutes. Okay? While the average man, about 2 minutes. Okay? Which is a big disparity there.
So, Sheikh, what fundamentally, give us the principles of foreplay. Like, what do you do? Where do you do it?
Right. Good question. So a basic principle is top to bottom. Don't start from the bottom and go up. You basically, women like to be touched.
Bottom, do you mean feet or do you mean their private parts?
Private part.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's like the culminating point. You need to build it.
Yeah.
People usually rush to hit the jackpot, the target. No, you need to build it up, right? Because as you say, women have so many erogenous zones, you need to build it up. So the process, so words. You tell her, that's an interesting thing in female psychology, that she gets turned on by words, but also women are in a sense autosexual. Well, I know again.
What does that mean? I've not come across that.
So a woman can look into the mirror at herself, and if she likes her figure, she can get turned on. Well, a man is going to be not do it. I don't think a guy is going to do that. Okay?
Sorry, that took me off guard.
Guys are not going to. Yeah, it's not going
to. You're right.
It's not going to happen, right? Yeah, so what that does, so a man can use that by telling her how hot and attractive she is. Whispering these things in her ear, that you make me feel like this. You describe her body to herself.
And it takes away her insecurities as well.
Yes,
it makes her feel confident, relaxed, which calms her nerves.
Huge.
Because that's a big blocker in a lot of women. Is like, wait.
Bizabt.
Yeah.
So important.
Before someone with makeup and these, special pants I was wearing that was tightening my figure. He's actually seeing me now.
So important. And he's praising her and describing that and how it makes him feel.
Yeah.
That will get her going.
But not in a eager type of way.
No.
In a
nice, soft, right? Those soft words into her ear. And he can start working with soft kisses, ear, behind the ear, the neck.
One thing's really important, slow. Yeah. If you think you could slow it down more, slow it down more.
Yes.
It's like, because when you take things slow, it creates tension.
100%.
The way you want to think of it is like, I'm trying to think of an analogy. I think of it like something that's boiling.
That's what it is.
And then it erupts.
That's what it is.
Like what you want to get it to a point where she says to you, come on.
Yes, exactly.
Do it.
This is
Do you know what I'm saying?
This is the point.
And that's not going to happen until you've...
Even if she doesn't say it because she's shy, she'll pull you.
She'll pull you or something. And she'll get to a point where maybe not the first night. By the way, guys,
100%.
all of what we're talking about right now is very highly unlikely you're going to get that on the first night. We're talking about you're in the swing of things now.
That's fine.
First night, if you just get in without hurting her, it's a big accomplishment.
Even if you don't, let's say, but you're able to finish her. And she can, feel like, wow, what was this?
Absolutely.
Right? She will look at you like, I want more of this. I want more tomorrow. I want more today, whatever it is, right? And the guy will be like, don't worry, I'll give you more. I got a lot more.
Just give me 10 minutes.
Just give
15
10, 15 minutes. Yes, right?
So, look, slow is one. Start from the top, work your way to the bottom.
Yes. Words, descriptions of her body, and so on. And again, the touches. So again, the woman has so many erogenous things. So guys shouldn't do things linear. You have two hands.
Yeah.
You got your lips.
You got your lips.
Right. Your body close to her. As the more points of contact.
And your breath.
The breath, everything. Make sure your breath smells good.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's a lot of things that I focus on in my course about
the
hygiene.
Mean you blow on her, but just like warm.
Yes.
Just as you're talking, you might also just slightly exhale a bit deeply, and then it's like women are from. If we're talking about the senses, you're engaging her visually, you're engaging her, also her touch, and these different touches, the touch of your hand, your breath, and keda. And
so you're combining a bunch of different things, right? Because again, women are just multi-dimensional, right? You wanna trigger as many dimensions as possible. Kissing, touching, going down to the level of the chest, obviously. Again, same thing. Just the exchanging gazes. Just looking at her, her hair, putting your hand through her hair, kissing, right? Guys don't kiss, man.
Okay, how do they kiss?
A lot of guys will just just put their lips or try to
put their tongue
overdo it too much. You need to start slow, right? Just to be just basic lip to lip, lower lip, upper lip, and then you can move to the next thing, right? The actual passionate tongue and all that, you build to it. But if you just invade that space just like that, a lot of this hot, pushy, passionate, fast thing will happen later. Where you guys are so used to each other and you know each other.
And I would even suggest don't work off of her reaction.
Yes.
The more you see her intensify it, and then pull back and intensify.
Yes.
And the way that you'll know is, like I said, her breathing will start to get heavier.
Yeah.
Right? You'll start seeing her pulling you close to you and stuff like that. Just also a tip for the brothers, be careful of your teeth when you kiss.
Yes.
Right? And also,
don't rub.
Say that again?
Don't bang teeth on
don't bang teeth. Speed also. And this is a big one. Don't open your mouth too wide.
Yeah, take it easy. And make sure, again, and one thing that the brothers need to work on a lot, and I talk about in my course, is the tahara, Like make sure teeth are clean, you floss, there's no smells, because women get the ick, bro. They don't like men with bad hygiene. And we know the Prophet ﷺ had the best hygiene, and that it's part of our deen.
So you know how important this is? The Prophet ﷺ, every time he would come inside the house, he would do the siwak.
The siwak, yeah. Every time.
Every single time. He goes out, he comes in, he would do the siwak.
SubhanAllah.
And I think as a default, and this is how I am. And by the way, I'm very conscious of my smell. I'm very conscious of my hygiene. I'm the type of person where if I smell bad and someone doesn't tell me, well, I'll be offended.
Yeah.
And that person, I'll question his friendship moving forward. Do you know
SubhanAllah.
what I'm saying? But me, my default is, when I'm at home, wait, let me just check myself.
Yeah.
I will not go to my wife without having, let me just, sometimes I'll bathe before going to my family, because
a lot of men think that it's not masculine. This is the wrong perception, bro. This is that one extreme form. You think you're a man. Okay, I won't change my shirt. No. And a lot of brothers make the mistake, and then they wonder why their wives don't want to be intimate with them.
This is a massive one.
It's a massive one,
It's a massive one. It's just, everything's cool, but the reason she just she wants to avoid the intimacy, is smell, bro.
It's the smell, brother.
And sometimes not that he smells bad, he just doesn't smell good.
He doesn't smell good. Yeah, 100%.
This one's massive.
100%.
Massive. Took me years to clock this one. As in, to really just, massive. Even when it comes to fragrances, I will not wear a fragrance my wife doesn't like.
100%.
I will let her pick the fragrance.
Yeah.
And if it's a fragrance I really like, I won't wear it in the house.
Okay.
I'll wear it out.
Outside.
There's some fragrances my wife doesn't like, no
100%.
problem. I'll wear it out. But for her, would you like?
100%.
Come to bed if you're sleeping
100%.
and there's no intimacy, but just come to bed wearing fragrance. They love that.
They love that.
They love that.
100%.
طيب Sheikh, and forgive me, I don't mean to,
Yeah, no.
but what does a man do with a woman's breast? Because that is obviously something that I think 99% of brothers have no clue what to do. And there's so much there that can help towards getting the pot boiling.
Right. Again, you have to, the touch, right? Working your way through. Guys just want to go there and, just do the thing. No, you want to slowly work your way. Everything in a woman's breast is erogenous. She's going to be turned on. Cupping, obviously, kissing
With your hands.
with your
Cupping
hands.
with your hands.
Yeah, kissing with your lips. Even nibbling. Okay, now don't bite
Yeah.
on a woman, okay, but nibbling, they like that sometimes, a bit of roughness, but you got to test it again, right? Women are very, very turned on by that.
At
It's
what
very
point does the
important.
man go towards the nipple?
Right.
Is it immediate?
No,
or-
don't run. Yeah, just kind of work your way circularly, go towards that slowly. Don't jump into it right away. Just work your way, circular mode, touching, looking at her. Again, you need to read her body language.
Sorry.
The acceleration.
Just give a straight face sometimes. 'cause
Yeah.
I'm imagining the guys watching us thinking, these guys, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, lie, brothers. This information is lacking. We're only talking about it because it's lacking.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff like, what do you do as a Muslim? We have to be shy. We cannot talk about what happens in the bedroom. And it's embarrassing for a guy to go and ask for advice and ask for help.
Yeah.
So we're making this for those that are suffering, wallahi, and they have no clue.
It leads to so many divorces. And again, we said in some of the books of, the ulama, they've talked about some of these things, subhanAllah. And
Very
sadly, we're
emphatic.
very far away from this.
Very emphatic.
But it causes problems and huge divorces.
Yep.
Most of the problems in our marriage counseling right now is due to intimacy.
Allah understand.
Yeah, due to intimacy, sadly, because it's such an important thing. But yeah, I mean, the woman is an interesting being that has so much depth, and the man needs to explore. I think you've taken the diving courses, right, with brother?
Unfortunately, I haven't.
Okay, but you hear him talking about it, right?
Yep, all the time.
Yeah, so that gradual submerging into water, it has certain systems and certain ways. You can't go down too quickly
Yeah,
because there's a pressure
Yes.
that you need to equalize.
yeah.
Same thing, you can't go up too fast.
Yeah.
Especially when
You
you're...
can pass out.
Oh, yeah. So I always say the woman is just as deep as an ocean. You have to apply
Oh, wow.
principles
So
of
that's a very nice analogy. I
gradualism.
think Zuri would love that analogy.
Yeah.
Almost like an ocean. You have to prepare before you
Really.
dive slowly. And then when
You really have to, right?
Okay.
So when you go deep, it has to be very, very... When you're at the surface and it's a storm, you need to know how to navigate the waves. You can't go against the waves because it will break you.
Yep,
You
yep.
need to know how to climb the crests of the waves. So bottom line is you're going to have to end up down at the bullseye at some point. And even there, it's a quite a complex mechanism.
So then now a person's going there. Do they just go straight to it?
No.
Or like how does it work?
Right. So again,
I'm asking for you guys, by the way.
yeah. So they should be now a very, very natural bond that's slowly taking place. People, they've taken their time. They've not rushed things. It's just, I think the woman now, the man is ready. Okay, because the man also, he needs to be turned on. The woman also, she needs to understand that she has a lot to do with him being ready. A lot of times women will not take any accountability. It's always on the brothers, the burden of performance. The woman also has to understand that she needs to put her hands on him.
Yeah.
She needs to
Be touching
do certain
him.
things, touching him and kissing him, and also,
Yeah.
connecting
Definitely. Yeah,
to...
we haven't talked about Abna. It's very important.
It's very
Is
important.
that. And okay, Sheikh, what if a man's wife doesn't know how to do that?
Then
She's not
he-
been exposed to these things.
Yeah.
Like, how does he train her when she's a bit vanilla, for lack of a better term?
Right. So again, maybe back in the days, I still believe that it's just instinctual, like they have it in them and we have it in us. But because things are maybe a bit more complicated, again, expectations might not align with reality.
He's been exposed to more. Or
she probably was exposed to some things as well. She might be expecting certain things as well. She definitely heard something.
in the case where there's a mismatch of expectations, how does he
So
train
he's
that?
going to have to coach her, and women are okay with that, right? He needs to take her hand and put her in the right place, and he needs to do a lot of the work. And with time, she will open up, and
That's very
gonna
important.
adapt.
He needs to coach her. And the way to do that is, as you said, just position them, show them, and so on and so forth. One thing that's really important, I think the mothers should really be teaching their daughters these things.
They have to within the right limits. They have to explain certain things.
And of course, like friends as well. When there's a brother who's getting married, who's close, we have a ritual. The night before, I sit down and I have a very, very emphatic conversation. Not just about intimacy, even other things like, bro, don't mess this up, you know? And you need that, people to just tell you. And one thing I always do on that night is I always give them a pack of condoms. I'll say, brother, at least for a while, don't impregnate her, please.
Okay.
Please. You just for a while, at least. Because so many times they knock her up and then he wants to divorce her.
Yeah,
and now you
I
got a
get your
kid.
point.
Yeah. So my thing.
Personally, I don't advise condoms on the first night.
Really?
It just removes the
joy?
Yeah, 100%. For her and for the man.
Yeah.
Like the women themselves will report that. It just doesn't feel the same.
There's like really like...
Yeah, especially a guy who like suffers, for example, has issues with erection, that's gonna cut it.
Then at the very least, broski, just
pull out,
withdraw.
Yeah,
but the thing is, they don't.
Yeah,
they don't. They get caught in it.
True, I get your point. I get your point.
I'm there's so many brothers I'm seeing suffering right now.
No, 100%.
And like even as a side point, if you've got issues with your wife,
100%, and
every now and again, you know things get better. You have bro, just for now, just don't impregnate her.
No, 100%. Just wait. I get your point. I get your point. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to get to the point of penetration if they can. And again, the man needs to understand that he needs to take it step by step. Lubrication is very important. And again, you have your hand as well, right? There's certain areas that you need to touch with your hand while you're penetrating that can really help a lot.
Women, the vaginal orgasm, and then there's the clitoral orgasm, right? Again, something basic, but there's a lot of misunderstanding here. Women are, the overwhelming majority of the times, they're going to only climax through clitoral stimulation, right? Not through their vagina. So men can't neglect that. You can't just go in and out and think that that's it. She's had her. You've climaxed, you finish.
Yeah,
but
this is a big dhulm.
Right, it's
a
oppression.
lot of guys do, man.
So should a man try to bring her to climax before penetration or after?
Okay, so it depends, but I believe that if he does before, and again, women in general have they're multi-orgasmic.
Yeah,
it will remove a lot of pressure. It will produce more lubrication for her. She'll be more relaxed.
Absolutely.
So a clitoral orgasm can be easily achieved by a woman within a couple minutes if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Whether it is oral stimulation or just manual stimulation, depending on the opinion that a lot of people might be discussing, right? Bottom line is she can easily achieve that. Once she's done that, it's much easier to now go to penetration.
Is there a technique or common mistakes that they make when stimulating the clitoris?
Yeah, it's either too much pressure, thinking that they're gonna, break it. Gotta go again, that same principle. Slow and then increase in stimulation. You have to read, again, the body language. When a woman is ready, a lot of brothers ask me, like, how do I know my wife climaxed?
Yeah.
Sometimes the women themselves, they don't know. I'm like, look, when she does, you will know.
You'll know.
Okay, it's literally like an explosion.
Yeah.
It's literally like a build up and then it's a release. Okay. You can't. If you've experienced an orgasm, it's almost like you sneeze and you don't know that you sneeze. No, you know you sneeze. Yeah. Okay.
Be patient with it.
Yeah. Be patient with it.
Don't
take your time.
It.
Right. Don't apply. You have to apply different pressures. You got to read it again and you have to increase a little bit of intensity. And again, you will see that it builds up. Yeah. Okay.
I think communicating with your wife is very important, right?
Very important.
Because there's no one motion, circular motion, up and down, side to side. Maybe it's all of it. Maybe and you just got to get from them and
what she likes.
Right. And it doesn't have to be like mechanical. You can just, how does that feel?
Yeah.
You can just say things to,
Or you just like, you like that, don't you?
Right? Exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
And encourage her to be open about it. I think this is one thing that men need to get over, this whole ego that I don't need to be told what to do.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like, if I'm asking you to scratch my back, right now, I'm going to tell you, bro, a little bit to the right, a little bit to the right.
Yeah.
All right there, bro.
Right there.
Okay. Like, come on, it's fine. It's no problem.
Very nice.
It's just chill. Yeah. It's not a big deal, It's not so deep. Like, just let it be, It'll be good for you, right? Because bottom line is, once you perform and you've done this whole thing, it'll be good for you. She'll respect you.
Big time.
She's just reset everything. All her hormones are reset. Everything, all the levels are back.
Yeah.
Everything will be good. You know, she'll cook you eggs in the morning.
Yeah, very submissive women.
Right.
If a man can dominate her there,
100%.
he shows.
100%.
This is the value.
Yeah.
Like
It is value.
you could have been broke, but when you
It's
dominate
value.
her like a king in the
It's
bedroom,
value.
broski,
Yeah.
you understand?
It's value.
She's not looking at the guy with the Lamborghini no more.
It's value. It's value. No doubt.
Okay. So then look, again, without spending too much time on this, because we have to move on, there's obviously the clitoris, but that's not the only part
Yes.
that she will experience good sensations from. There's also, I don't know the technical term for it, but the lips.
labia.
Is that is that what it's called? Okay. So so one can also,
Yeah.
Yeah,
again, you can touch that, you can use the finger, you can use the palm, you can use different pressures, you can use a combination of inserting a finger and then just stimulating the outside, right? Again, there's just so many things you can do. You need to see what works. Just the same principle, don't rush and test.
Yeah.
And again, women have different way they can orgasm. As you said, there's the clitoral one, which is, again, it's kind of like gradual, like it's in the outside, is the most obvious one, is the simplest one. And then there's obviously what's called the G-spot, okay, which is about a couple inches inside. And that's a different type of orgasm. A bit harder to achieve, but not impossible. And then there's just the regular vaginal intercourse orgasm, which is, again, a bit hard to achieve. It's not because of anything other than it's a complicated issue as to why women cannot do it now. There seems to be some problems with the orgasmic plate in the development of women. Can be food, can be hormones, can be a lot of things. Okay, can be also women conditioning themselves, sadly, through masturbation to receive only the clitoral orgasm, right? So usually women, they don't want to break themselves. So
I'm going to be vulnerable here, right? And lead by example. I actually didn't know that the G-spot and the vaginal orgasm were different. So look at that. And I would like to consider myself a connoisseur with regards to this bab. I spent my fair share of time looking into it. And sarahatan, what is news to me. I didn't know that they were two different.
Yeah, they're different. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Wait, is the vaginal and is that the A spot? What they call the A spot? I saw it once. I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's.
Okay.
I'm not sure what kind of slang.
Look at that. I'm saying I genuinely. This is education, right? Again, so if I can admit that, and I'm doing it here, there's no weakness.
Yeah.
In a man saying I didn't know that.
No,
I didn't know that.
okay.
I didn't know that existed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's very interesting.
Right. So I mean, now they're also talking about.
I thought it was the same thing. So
the vaginal is just a more regular general orgasm of the vagina being in basic penetrator, while the G-spot is a specific point.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a specific point, and it
feels like the roof of your mouth.
Pretty much,
right?
Yeah. It's a rougher edge.
Yeah.
It's about 2 inches inside towards the pubic bone.
Yeah.
And again, that needs to be tested. You can't just apply too much pressure. It needs to be discussed. It needs to be answered, because the woman is also not aware of that a lot of times, right? Yeah. And the feeling that it gives in, it's almost like a sensation of wanting to urinate.
Yeah.
And that can make a woman feel very uncomfortable.
And
she might not want.
She'll stop. She won't do it. Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously, once that does happen, that pleasure is unmatched, and it's gonna change the dynamics of the whole relationship. You know what I mean? But and again, alhamdulillah, these things are achievable, right? And it just connects the brother and the sister in their marriage much better.
Yeah.
If they have that department handled, I think other stuff can be dealt with
very easily.
Yeah, I think other stuff can be dealt with.
Even, for example, there's a brother I know, like, subhanallah. Again, this is not what I'm about to explain is not completely healthy because there are underlying issues, but still it shows how quickly intimacy can solve a problem. So he's been having some issues with his wife, and things are really getting really tense, like really big issues. And he just becomes more and more distant from her, and she becomes more and more distant from him. He's like, I want to be around her less. She wants to be around him less. There's talks about separation, divorce, khula, all of these things. But it's a cycle. Because what happens is that eventually they both, when they need to be intimate,
they get back together.
Suddenly it's like, oh yeah, everything's cool.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I said to him, I said, bro, now next time when there's an issue, just go and grab her, bro. Just grab her.
That's it.
Do you understand? Just grab her and
talk later.
Yeah, talk later, brother. It will calm down everything. You know, reset, as you said, hormones reset, everything, so on and so forth. It's just such a hack. It's just such a hack. There's no better way to put it.
Yeah.
And in your mind, the ego kicks in. No, actually talk to me like that. You're right, bro. Sometimes, bro, just grab her. I can just,
That's right.
Just take it out there.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it's subhanAllah.
Yes, they call it.
Look, there's so much more to discuss, but I know you have a program where you go in deep, and I assume positions and everything, and all that stuff is discussed. There's so much more to this. I think maybe we just need to put one on just this. Sheikh, I want to move to the topic of polygamy.
Let's do it.
Yeah, the big P. The big P. Or polygyny. Is it really an issue? If people say polygamy.
I think polygamy is usually
for both genders.
Yeah.
Polygyny is
polygyny is for the male with many women.
Okay. So, polygyny. Let's start with this. Should a man do polygyny purely for sexual reasons? Or would that fundamentally just lead him to boredom? There is a reason why I'm asking this, right? I'm not saying it's wrong for a man to just want to diversify his sexual options. But even 4 women is not enough, because a man's going to see a woman that's more beautiful, and eventually this woman, her novelty will wear off. When I looked at the Prophet ﷺ and his marrying of other wives, despite him having the desire that was clearly there, and there's no, making light of that, but there was also a lot of hikam and wisdoms behind why the Prophet did it. Marrying, for example, Safiya bint Huyay radiallahu anha, who the one who took her was as a slave after they conquered. Was who? It was Dihat al-Kalbi radiallahu anha. And the Sahaba said, Ya Rasulullah, she is the daughter of the leader. She's befitting for you. Then the Prophet he freed her and married her. You can see there's like he's marrying her perhaps for that this is a woman from royalty.
I got you.
And he's marrying her. Aisha radiallahu anha you can see the clear wisdom behind marrying her. She was the one that carried on his legacy after his death.
No doubt. But we have to also, in the same hadith, the Prophet was impressed by her beauty, and that is mentioned.
Yeah. Also Juwairi as well, right?
Aisha
said, when the Prophet saw her, I knew.
I knew.
Yeah,
because a lot of people will just say he's only marrying for these strategic moves, which is true. A lot of it was. But the Prophet, again, he was a human being. He did have desire, and he was attracted to this.
But my thing is then, it's like, I heard a brother say to me, it's going to sound crude, but there's a lot of hikmah in what he said. He said, someone asked him, he said, what advice do you give for brothers that want to do polygamy? He said, don't make a decision while you're horny.
That's a good point.
Because polygamy is going to rock the boat, brother. And it is another level of responsibility.
Yeah.
To do it for something that you're going to regret the moment you've just had your orgasm.
True.
I don't think it's wise. But then again, I'm not saying it's wrong.
Yeah.
So what's the balance here, Sheikh?
Hi, Bismillah. So definitely I believe a man has to be careful when he makes that decision. Because while, yes, desire can be justified, you can say, I just want to do the halal.
Yeah. And sometimes it's wajib.
Yeah.
There's been situations where a brother is like, bro, I need to. Or he might end up in haram.
And it can become wajib for him, and the more he wastes time being monogamous, it's going to hurt him. He's going to commit sins, and it's not worth it for the sake of people to disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? May Allah forgive all of us.
Ameen.
This is very important. Second point is that he needs to understand strategically, right, who he's marrying. That's why he said this post-nut clarity is very important for him to make a decision that when he looks at her, he doesn't look at her just as a sexual object, and for him to satisfy his sex drive, but also as a mother, a companion, someone who's going to support his mission, someone who's going to bring him peace, and who's going to help him in what he's doing in this life. Because again, polygyny is not something easy. You have to be a great manager. You have to be a great performer. You have to be a great leader, provider, and so on. So it's quite
manager.
Yeah, 100%. It's quite difficult, but it does lead you to improve yourself
Big time.
if you are on it and you want to do it and you have the right intention as well. Because keep in mind, right, you're also not only taking a woman for yourself, but you're also giving a woman a husband, a woman who doesn't have that maybe, or she wouldn't be able to have it, right? So you're also looking at it from that perspective. And that's where it comes now, from going to the baseline again to that higher objective, that I'm not looking at it just, desires, but I'm also like helping a sister, or trying to provide for a sister who might not be able to get married for whatever reason, a husband.
Is it wise for a man as a second wife to take a virgin, or should he look for a woman who is divorced? Considering the 21st century dynamic.
Yeah, 100%.
I know 100 years ago, maybe marrying a virgin girl. But I'll give you my take on it. I think it's probably unwise, because there's just a lot. Life has just made us so busy. Things are so hectic, and the level of care and attention you have to give to a woman who has just never been with a man before can be more demanding and can be more challenging than marrying a woman who emotionally she's a lot more balanced, because she's already been through that stage of puppy love and whatnot, and so on and so forth.
Right. So,
and I could be wrong here.
No, it's a good point. Of course, we value virginity a lot. We have to make that point. In a world where, sadly, women themselves don't value their own virginity and they give it up for free.
Very deep point.
But then they expect a man to pay for it after she's given it to someone else for free, and even lie about it and whatnot. Okay, and obviously guys are gonna suffer in that. It's difficult to hide your virginity, and the men have what's called buyer's remorse. You know, they come to us and like, bro, she deceived me. I feel so bad right now. Should I leave her? She lied. Okay, it's not that she just committed one mistake and she was trying to hide her mistake and she made tawbah, but she's had multiple partners, right? But now she's claiming she's a virgin and whatnot, and guys got it for free, and now she wants me to be this provider. She has all this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 requirements that I need to fulfill. I had only one requirement, and that was for her to be virgin, and she deceived me on that. So it's a little bit of a complicated issue. So virginity is important. Right? It's important. We should never ever put that down, because again, when women hear some of these fatwas and some of these opinions, they're sitting there at the university, and saying, he's saying that I can say I'm virgin. So let me just I got 3 more years of school, let me just.
So just to be clear, I didn't mean outside marriage.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I mean, if your first wife virgin, Jamil, I'm saying, and if you want to get a second,
100%.
My point was marrying
within marriage. Yeah, 100%.
In the context of you're also helping her.
No, 100%. I get you.
And you're also helping yourself, but you're helping yourself without having the baggage of that comes with a virgin girl.
Yeah, I get you. 100%.
But I'm not talking about girls who sleep around with men.
No, 100%.
She was married in halal.
Yeah. No, 100%. I get you. So, but I just wanted to make that point on virginity, because it's a big, big issue today. Yeah. But I would say that one of the wisdoms of polygyny is to allow women who have gone down the ladder of value. And again, I don't want women to get upset, but in reality, when you're not a virgin anymore, some of the value has been lost. What's the evidence for that? Well, the evidence is that, for example, the mahar of a virgin woman is more than that of a non-virgin. Okay, you want more than that? Well, the Prophet ﷺ also said that spending the time with the virgin is 7 days, while non-virgin is 3 days when you marry. Yeah. So you can see that it's not the same. which means the value. That doesn't mean that you don't have value or you're bad or anything like that. I'm just telling you that that virginity itself is a sort of value. And when a woman doesn't have that, it doesn't mean she has no value.
Because the Prophet only married one virgin himself.
Yes,
the rest
exactly.
of his wives were non-virgins.
Exactly.
So even he encourages Sahaba to marry virgins.
Yes.
He balanced it out by he himself
100%.
virgins.
And we'll understand. There's a balance, right? We understand. Because there's, again, all value is not in virginity.
100%.
But there is virginity. There is value in virginity. It's a lot of value. But having said that, the wisdom is that some women, again, for whatever reason, they've been married, they were divorced, their husbands passed away. What are they going to do now? Oh, I'm not a virgin. I can't marry? No. Right? But you need to understand where the value is going to be. So maybe she's a little bit older. Maybe she's been divorced. Maybe she's been widowed for so many years. So now she comes into this polygynous discussion, and she can offer value to him and he'll offer value to her, and they can connect. And she's not going to get full 7 days. She'll get maybe 2 days. But that is good enough value proposition and exchange, because she's at a level where that befits her.
So you're saying she wouldn't get equal nights?
Obviously, no. I'm just saying that she's not going to get 7 nights because she's not the only wife.
You mean at the beginning?
No, I'm saying if you're marrying 2 women, 3 women, 4 women, the woman who enters into a polygamous marriage, she enters that marriage knowing that she's not the only one, that she's not going to get 7 nights, she's not going to get all his resources, she's going to have to share.
She's going to share. Okay.
She accepts that because if she's realistic about it, she understands that her value matches that proposition. She is now a bit older. She's lost her virginity a long time ago. She's in a situation, maybe she has 2, 3 kids, and
maybe may not even be able to have children, have less children moving forward.
That situation matches the value that he's offering. Her value in that context matches the 2 or 3 nights that she's going to get from this man who has other wives, and the resources that she's going to get from that man who has other wives. So polygyny has that wisdom
Big time.
of balancing those values so that exchange can take place. Because, I mean, with all the respect to her sister, I'm not saying that, but in general, if a guy marries, he's like 25 or 26, he marries a woman who's 40, and she's his only wife, and she's already had 2 husbands before, and this and that, and now he has to do all kinds of things. There might be a man who's really, mashallah, doing it for the sake of Allah and goodness. But bottom line, he's going to feel like it's not really that fair.
It's not fair,
Yeah.
You never want to be in a situation where you feel like you're doing the favor to someone else.
I'm not saying that it cannot happen. Maybe that woman is just going to be like super great and good and this and that and mashallah, right? But again, naturally that imbalance is going to happen. But going back to your question, I believe that if you marry a woman, if you're going to be in polygamy, like, look, as a man, I know myself, I'm not going to be able to deal with one wife, right? And you're straight open about it, straightforward about it, right? And you will do it. Marry a non-virgin first. First, not second.
Very interesting point.
First, marry an older woman. I mean, the Prophet's first wife was Khadija.
You know what? This is so deep. Oh, wow.
Whether people now, there's some debate whether she was 20 years older or not. And it's okay. Okay, his second wife was Sauda, who was definitely older than him. Okay? Bottom line is, she would have been his first wife then, because Khadija just passed away. He still married Sauda. And then Aisha very shortly after, right? I think
very deep, because that one will be easier. She will take the second wife.
Much easier. Much easier.
But then, Sheikh, how do you balance that with every guy will say, I want to marry multiple women?
But not every guy can, right? The guy needs to know himself. Again, his value.
We're talking about 21, 23-year-old brothers that are getting married. They're thinking, let me go up. Because even marrying an old woman comes with its own struggles. In the sense where there's that age dynamic. There's that maturity that she has over you, possibly. She's seen life more. And it's a mental thing of where, like, if you're immature and if you're too much of a kid, she's going to psychologically dominate you.
Okay, so research shows that, let's say a guy is 23 and a woman is 25, it doesn't really work out. Just that 2-year discrepancy.
It doesn't work out?
No, it can cause problems, right?
Where does the problem come from?
Again, she considers herself, even by 2 years, a little bit older than him. And there's that immaturity discrepancy. And it seems like it doesn't work out well. The woman doesn't look at the man in a very favorable way. However, it seems like a woman who's a little bit older, in her, let's say, late 30s, maybe early 40s, and he's like 25. Somehow it works.
Somehow it works, yeah.
Yeah. Because he is yet not so experienced. his value is not so high.
And she's lost a lot of
She's
value.
already lost a lot of value, but she has a lot of experience.
Yeah.
So now she looks, even the man's smart enough and he can overcome his ego. That woman can actually coach him on so many things.
And I've actually, you know what? I've actually seen a few situations, shockingly, where women who are in their 30s have agreed to marry a guy or be interested in a guy who's in his mid-20s. That's
100%.
So,
And if a guy can get over his ego, he can learn a lot from her, bro, about women. And she won't have a problem to share that experience because she's not so sensitive anymore as a woman.
This is what you call pragmatism, you know?
What I mean?
I love this. This advice you've given is gold. I just hope that people can be self-aware when they take it. Let's talk about guys who are married, who maybe didn't know they wanted polygamy or didn't marry a woman who would take the second wife as well, like the example you just gave. What does he do? Does he just do it, tell her later? Does he tell her? Like, what's the dynamic here? How does he go from monogamy to polygyny? How does he deal with the fire, the backlash, and all of these things?
Okay, I'll connect to something we spoke at the beginning. And I'll say this again. If a man has certain value, he's worked on it. That was his objective. And again, it's not just money. Talking about dawah, many things, right?
Yeah.
Status, mission, and so on. Women are gladly to share. 4 women would share a Ferrari if each one of them can drive it twice a week, than each one of them having their own e-scooter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you got to be Ferrari, though.
You got to be Ferrari. 4 women in general are going to say, you know what? I'll take the Ferrari 2 times a week, as opposed to having my own little e-scooter, that I can ride on, but it's mine. So if you have the value, it's much easier. You come straightforward and be honest from the beginning. Don't deceive, no nothing. Look, that's how I am. Take it or leave it.
I'm talking about he's already married now.
Yeah, but I'm saying because you have to understand, even from the beginning, to be able to take the second wife, you need to make the right choice of the first wife.
I'm saying a guy he's already married now.
Okay. Now he wakes up to polygyny.
Yeah, he wakes up to polygyny.
He's in a bit of a pickle.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we can solve that. But he's going to be in a bit of a pickle. Why? Because that first wife, she accepted his proposition. Again, remember, men ask, women accept. And he basically made value out of nothing. The fact that he agreed to be monogamous with her gave her value to accept him. She says, oh, you're going to be the only one for me? Cool. All right, I'll take you.
So do you think you should just be uncompromising from the beginning?
I believe so. He needs to be wise, but I believe he should be straightforward. But that same man, let's say he woke up later, he needs to understand that his wife agreed to get into this marriage with him because she believed that he's going to be monogamous. And for her, that is some value. Okay, that is some value. Had the same man maybe from the beginning told her that I don't want to be monogamous, she would have not accepted it. Because he gave her that understanding, she saw some value in that. Says, okay, at least I can get all these resources.
So if he knew, he should be direct. If not, we can understand why he's upset. But what do you do about a guy who he wanted to be monogamous? He wanted to be monogamous.
Yeah, it's
a situation arose which made him...
He saw a podcast and they're like, oh man.
Like for whatever reason, he now wants to, which is also reasonable, right?
So a lot of men will basically have intimacy issues, frequency of intimacy. Women are not going to give him enough intimacy. He wanted to get it.
That seems to be the common theme when you speak to brothers.
Yeah,
it seems to be the common theme.
Why men would want a second
It could
wife.
also be you want more children or...
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, guys will basically have...
Or it could just be because you can. I mean, there's some brothers that, because I can.
Yeah. A lot of guys are going to wake up and say, oh man, I kind of want it now, right? Yeah. But he is in a pickle now because, see, she got with him on that premise. Yeah. And now she will say, I didn't sign up for this, bro. Yeah. Which will now cause problems because she might want to leave the marriage. Yeah. So now guys get into the whole lying, hiding it and all that, which can cause problems. So what should a man do in this situation? You need to evaluate the the losses and gains on your choice now. If you're gonna go forward with this marriage, second marriage,
Yeah.
is your first wife gonna leave? Well, she says yes. Does that mean she's gonna leave? No,
Majority
because
of times, no, it's a no.
yeah, we got to be careful that we don't take women's words, we take their actions.
Absolutely.
You won't know till later. So you're going to have to know, am I going to test it or not? You need to know yourself. How much courage do you have
I think the
to
default
engage in these?
is to assume that she's bluffing.
That's the default. However, in a world where there's increasing optionality for women and their value is very inflated, they have some backup.
Yeah.
So they can get their own job now and get their own resources. Plus they have the welfare state that supports them.
Plus they have their family.
And their family. So you got a few cushions.
The family
there.
one is interesting, right? Because the family will egg her on.
100%.
And they'll only do it at the beginning. Then once she's been dumped on them, then they'll tell her go out and get a job.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Yeah.
So
but then the government will also tell her that don't worry, we'll take care of you.
Right.
Which is not so good.
So you have to be very strategic here.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got children.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just have to be very strategic. How do you... I think brothers, if they are in such a situation, definitely shouldn't do it alone. They need a wolf pack. They need to be around brothers that are experienced.
Yeah.
That there's so many different...
strategy and advice.
Yeah, there's
on how
so
to
many different
things to
variables.
consider. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
That I'm even scared to suggest a game plan because, bro, your situation might not be this and things will go left, but you just need that shura. You need
100%.
people that can...
So you need to evaluate the consequences and the risks.
Yeah.
If the risks are higher than the benefits, then I would say wait, don't do it. It might be that sometime down the line, because again, situations will change. Maybe it's not good now.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys, they just heard something or they saw something, they get excited, they want to do it. It's knee-jerk reaction and they make the wrong choice.
Is it easier if you're a Ferrari?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Or
yes.
Bugatti?
Yeah.
As in, if you're one of these,
100%.
then even if she didn't want it at the beginning,
yeah, she'll stay with you because again, the value that you're giving her outweighs the value that she might get somewhere else.
it's better to have the supercar for half the week than it is
To have the scooter.
not at all, or the scooter, right? So
Right.
then inherently, if you are a man of value, then
It will make it easier. I'm not saying that it's always like that because some women will just cut off and that's it. They don't care. But in general, yes.
What do you think about men who marry another woman and then his wife cries, screams, and then he divorces the one that he just married?
He should not do that. That's dhulm, man. That is a weakness.
Yeah.
I think it's very wrong for men to allow that manipulation to take place, which is usually the victimization manipulation is called, or the guilt.
Yeah.
The manipulation of guilt. It's very powerful, by the way. A woman can cry.
Yeah.
She'll accuse the man of, he's done this to her, that to her.
I'll take your kids away.
I'll take your kids away. Recently, a lot of women are using the whole suicide thing. I'm going to commit suicide if you don't divorce her or anything like that. So, yeah, a man has to be very, very careful because now you're making dhulm on that second woman. You should have not gotten into this. So it's better for men to test the waters before they make a move and maybe let their wife know that, look, I'm going to do this. I'm about to do this and see what happens then. So he needs to be very, very strategic. Now, I know that a lot of guys will then it will never happen. So some guys will decide to just do it and then let her know after. And then obviously the concept of misyar comes in, hiding it.
So let's talk about misyar quickly. So there's obviously standard, like conventional polygamy, which is you marry a woman and you give her rights and everything's equal, right? Then we're not talking about equal in terms of love, by the way. That always comes up, and I can't believe it's still a myth. Of course, you can't equally love them all, and that's not something Allah Azza wa Jal tested you with, right? وَلَن تَسْتَطِيعُوا أَن تَعْدِلُوا بَيْنَ النِّسَاءِ وَلَوْ حَرَصْتُمْ. You will not be able to be equal in terms of love. But we're talking about rights, nights. So there's that. Then there's mut'ah, which is you marry a woman. This is the other extreme.
Yes.
It's completely haram. Shia do, which is you marry a woman, purely with the intention to divorce her, and you agree
Yes.
that there's a time that this marriage will end, and
No.
it's mutually agreed that this will end.
Yes.
Then in the middle you have misyar, which is a very broad spectrum, which is that there is a suspension of rights. Yeah, there's a compromise. There's a compromise, right? And the compromise could be, a night, could be all nights, right? A compromise could be something as benign as, well, not benign, but as I'll take less money or whatever have you, or I purely want nothing else but intimacy.
Yeah.
That's like the bare.
That's it.
Right? There's a lot of discussion about this. How do you feel about this concept, Sheikh, of misyar?
I recently explained it extensively in a lecture in response to what's happened to our brother recently, right?
I'm not aware of the...
I don't know if I should say his name, but maybe if you've seen what happened from the brothers.
I've heard some, but
yeah,
I didn't indulge in anything.
Yeah, it's complicated. I just took the position of explaining to men and women as to why misyar happens. Okay, and my points were there that, look, guys, I know that a lot of things, for example, people don't like polygyny. Women don't like polygyny, but I keep explaining to them that it's going to continue to happen. The fact that you don't like it won't stop it.
Yeah.
Why? Again, goes back to the nature of men and women.
Yeah.
And what Allah has allowed and created, because He is the one who knows how He created us, and He will allow certain leeway within the rules and boundaries of Islam.
Yeah.
And I tried to explain to why does misyar happen? Why is this, it comes from the word sir. There's some secret there. It's a hush-hush a little bit. There's some compromisation of rights and whatnot. I said, why does this happen, guys? We need to understand, because you won't be able to stop it. You can expose in this cancel culture as much as you want. We live in a culture where any accusations, it can be against you tomorrow or me. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
In the end, you're exposed, you're done, whatever. Who cares? I don't care. Right? Bottom line is, it is what it is. It still will not stop the issue. I keep telling people, man.
Because the problems that this solves are still there.
100%. Right? So I try to explain to people, first and foremost, there's a misconception. In general, I'm not saying that it's always like that. In general, misyar doesn't happen. The guy doesn't go and tell the woman, hey, I'm going to give you misyar. It's usually the woman who asks for misyar. Why? Because the concept of giving up rights, it's only someone who has something to give up that they will give up.
They give it up.
It can't be the guy be like, I'm not going to do this. No. It
or
usually,
some men who manipulate women into giving up their rights.
That can happen. I'm not saying that doesn't happen. That's why I said this. But in general, especially for guys of certain value or certain... they're famous or whatever.
You say, I'll marry you, but I'm happy to take less.
Yeah.
The piece of you is better.
Exactly. So the way the woman kind of comes in, I'm looking for a husband.
Sometimes maybe she's got children and she's like, you know what?
100%.
The dynamic of having another man might mess things up.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
There was recently one of our clients who came in, it's a sister, and she wanted to marry a brother. Mashallah, they've been married for over a year, very successful marriage. Her issue was that her family, she lost her husband, and her family will not allow her to marry anyone unless it's like a specific, right?
A guy from a tribe who's in the village, this road of the village.
Exactly. And she's like, brother, like, what is this, man? Like, I can't deal with this. This is horrible. So she basically spoke to the right people, the mashayikh, this and this.
Got fatwa.
And
which you cannot do on your own. You have to go through the scholars and a judge.
And she, bro, it works for her so well. But she's like, I can't. She has older children, maybe 17, something like 18. I don't want, they're going to feel bad towards me. Everyone's judging me. What is wrong with a woman having desire, man?
Nothing.
What is wrong with people shaming a woman because she has desire and she wants to be with a brother? Why does a woman now have to forever, what are we like, astaghfirullah, that forever she has to be alone? She has to commit sati or something, to go and, astaghfirullah.
So I can definitely see the wisdoms here, right? And it's very praiseworthy in context. Do you feel like it's like a get out of jail clause for some brothers to enjoy themselves? What I mean by this here is that standard polygyny is that there's equality, right? A man marries a woman. he wants to have children with her, wants to take care of her, wants to give them their rights and so on and so forth. It seems like it's kind of become like the hack to just have more sexual partners in a way that's halal, or like technically halal, and then he's going to just divorce her and another one and another one. And they treat women like clothes. They take one off and put the other on.
That's wrong.
I understand if a guy is like, look, sister, you inherently can't, like you can't give me what I would want from you 100%. Anyway. You got children. So if I just pull up, you're busy.
100%.
So in return, I'm going to pull back what I give you.
100%.
And then let's negotiate. So it's fair.
Again.
Because if he's going to give her equality, she's got to be fully submissive there, ready to
100%.
Dine him and do whatever a wife does. But then some guys are just like, yo, I could just hide.
Yeah, so that is, again, what you just described, that is the foundation of transactions in marriage, unequal goods of comparable value. He's in this position right now, she's in this position, it's comparable value, there's an exchange that takes place. It's worth for him, it's worth for her. It works. When a person now manipulates that with an evil intent, then this is where you start having the issues, right? Why misyar happens, again, it's on both men's side and women's side. Women are restricted, their families are not helping them, they are whatever, but they want this guy. She's willing to compromise, he's willing to compromise. His first wife might say, I'm going to divorce you, take your kids, I'm going to report you to the police, blah, 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 all these things, whatever. Maybe his own families will be totally against it and disown him and so on. So they reach an agreement and they have this.
I think it's very important for people to have others involved, though,
100%.
to give them advice.
No.
Because it can be, again, I understand where one might want to not rock the boat and keep it under the radar due to a particular context, but it can be easily abused.
It can.
You've got to have your mashayikh, you've got to have your older brothers, your experienced brothers, the ones who care for you, looking out for you and telling you, no, I think you should be able to give her more, or maybe this doesn't need to be this under the radar. This should be, there's just so much to it. And I think one of the reasons why people do it and end up doing it wrong, or they end up abusing the system, is because we don't have conversations like this.
100%.
Because we're treating it as something like it's happening, man.
No, it's happening. And again, it's got to go back to why is it happening.
And you know what's shocking? Is if misyar is not happening,
Zina
is happening.
100%.
I was actually shocked. I was with a brother who we both know, and he was telling me about, because he's an interesting brother. He's a practicing brother, but he's got friends here and friends there. So he's got friends in the practicing department, and then due to the nature of some of the stuff, not that he's involved in any of this haram stuff, but he's got friends in that side.
No.
So he was like, all these guys cheat on their wives.
Bro, I'm telling my clients, bro, what they do, subhanAllah.
But when he looked at me in the eyes, I could tell it wasn't an exaggeration.
No.
It was not an exaggeration.
I mean, cheating is one thing. Imagine prostitutes, bro. Brothers going to prostitutes.
That's what he meant. He's like, all of that.
No.
And it's like, bro, these things are happening, broski. Like even me, I was thinking, what should I say? Should I know? Am I encouraging it by saying, yeah?
No, I get you.
Bro, but it exists.
And again, a lot of people need to understand that there's just so many variables involved in these decisions. A lot, like sometimes again, why can't you just control your desire and this and that? The guy has not been getting intimacy from his wife for 2 months because she's weaponizing sex against him. She wants all his value,
but doesn't want to give.
But she doesn't want to give her value.
Devil woman.
Which basically she's broken her mithaq.
Yeah.
She's broken her agreement.
Yeah.
But again, she has the advantage because most of the time the benefit of the doubt is with them. It's just the way it is. So again, I'm not saying that that's the only time, but people need to consider we're not endorsing here anything. But these are the realities that we are dealing with and we need to navigate them and understand them. What's halal, what's haram. People just say haram, 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 haram. Or some people say, no, everything's allowed. No, you need to understand within what we're discussing here, why we're discussing it, because they're happening, and how we can navigate them, hopefully, to stay within the boundaries.
And I think, one thing that I'm very grateful to you for, Chef, is that, despite you having a wide array of experience and expertise in different things along Barak, this relationship thing has become something that you've given a lot of your time and efforts, and this has been your focus of da'wah. And it wasn't possible for guys to reach out, also sisters, to reach out to someone like yourself who they know that it's going to be a safe space It's going to be anonymous, the conversation. I will not be judged. To just be open. I said, this is my problem. What do you advise? So I do really hope, inshallah, because now we've come to the end of our discussion, and but there's still so much more that I think people are going to have on their minds for them to feel comfortable and confident to be able to get in touch with you, to book a call with you or with one of your team members. I know you have extensive content, programs, courses. We'll link the stuff below, inshallah. We go through this stuff in a lot of detail, but you do need to talk to the person as well and say, but this is my situation. Like, what do you tell me? So I really hope that, Sheikh, you keep building this infrastructure that you have and helping more and more people, and hope that people will go to where they see the benefit, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Sheikh, it's been very, very beneficial, very educational. And even me, I learned some anatomy today, some biology. With that said, Sheikh, barakallah feek. With that said, guys, subhanak Allahumma bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.